Hello.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. This weekend, I had a big family function.
Ooh, okay.
And Punch Kid was ready to debut to a number of the fam. And
that's awesome.
And Punch Kid, whatever. She's solid at like handling the giant. This is the biggest room full of the most people she's ever been in. And she was pretty just faces and smiles and all good for the most part. But I truly can say that yes, babies run on a Nago Ryuki-like blood install system. And every time you have a big high, a big smile, a big enjoyment, and like you're being held by strangers and you're not popping off, it's all delayed. It's all going to come later, right? And when it comes later, it comes back in orders of magnitude. So you can push that nap for a couple hours, and the intensity of the nap that you're getting on the backside of that is not to be trifled with. I'm sure you've experienced the force multipliers of like delaying the nap, but we recently got hers down to like 3 a day from a much higher number. And I can say that like I feel like you're managing it's systems. There's bars and meters that are invisible that you're managing at these events, and I can say that like we're getting pretty all right at it. Now, I don't know, but I can only imagine that the screaming kid running through an airport, smashing into walls and bouncing off of everything and everyone, has significantly more meters that get introduced. However, the UI is revealing itself to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're mentally ill.
Okay.
you
sure.
You
all right.
You have an illness in your mind.
Okay.
That being said, your core point is dead on.
All right. Well, forgive me for trying to bring a fucking video game bit to a video game podcast. Fucking go then.
Your core point is correct. There's a couple wrenches in there. So it's in your parlance, it's all the same meters. They're all the same. Just certain ones get longer or shorter depending, right? And they will change up on you. So you're starting to feel like you're like, okay, we got this. We got like kind of a loose schedule down.
I'm able to anticipate, and like I can go like, this is about 15 minutes away from disaster. And I'm able to peg it. Mm-hmm.
All right, and she's what, September? So what,
well, just
9?
Yeah, she's between her 6 and 12, so she's getting there.
So you're getting it, and you're gonna have a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months of like, yeah, all right. Then you're gonna have to start the whole fucking process over as soon as the next sleep regression hits. And every single fucking part of her schedule completely resets to some new bullshit that you have to just re-intuit.
So the regressions didn't really hit like I was expecting, in the sense that, like, the times where there's definitely nights where she'd just be like, hey, yo, I'm up. I don't give a fuck, right?
I think the funniest part about that is like, hey, is the baby asleep? And you like look at the monitor and it's just like like the widest eyes and the biggest goo goo gagas.
Yeah, it's weird because like it would never like, it feels like it wouldn't regress for like stretches of time. It would instead just be like sporadic, like this night was just off. And what has been more telling, at least with her, has been like teething. And teething pain is a way larger determining factor of like how the overall mood is going to go.
It felt like my guy was teething every day for like 20 months.
Right. Yeah.
Like it really, like every single time he couldn't sleep or whatever, but must be teething.
But that's what I'm saying though, is that like, okay, so I know what the tiredness system is, and I'm familiar with where that's at based on how she's behaving and how it looks when she's getting low. And then you go through the solving all the other problems, and then that doesn't solve the irritability. So then you're like, it's got to be teething. And like, it makes sense because teething frustration is a different.
Yeah, it sucks. It hurts out.
But it's a different kind of frustration because she can be in the middle of being happy, and then teething pain will happen, and she won't stop being happy, but she'll still be like, yeah, and then she can go right back to smiling or doing whatever, you know. And so you see that, and you go, okay, let's give the cold chew toy or the other little things or whatever, but. Sometimes you're getting those like those in the middle of the night, and it's like that's not a sleep regression. That's a teething overlapped with sleep is now turning turning a nap into a teething interruption. You know.
Yeah.
So again, you're just new subsystem introduced. Okay, we have a new bar to keep track of here, and. You gotta test it to see if it's teething pain, or is she gonna take the cold toy and throw it away and be like, no, it's not that, you know?
Yeah, right now I'm in the period that has been going on for 6 months or more, and I have no idea how long it's gonna go. Which is, this kid could really use a nap.
Mm-hmm.
They disagree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So either they're going to take one nap, and it's going to be at the worst time that a human could take a nap. It's going to go from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Fuck. Or they're going to just, like, speed up and speed up and speed up and speed up and go faster and faster and faster until 8:45, at which point they're just gonna, if they sit down for even a second, they're just gonna tilt right the fuck over and pass out.
You can't do the long nap as the last one of the day. You can't do it. It's a fucking trap. It's a trap, bro.
Yeah, you know what else is a trap? You know what else is a trap? You know what the most dangerous thing of all is? Okay, usual bedtime 9:30, 10. It's 7:45, and I'm looking at him just tilt and droop, and I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, hey, wake up, wake up, hey, stay awake, hey, woo, let's dance. No, he's gone. Mm-hmm. He's out. Mm-hmm. He is now back up after his 3-hour nap at 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we had a fucking nappy little like potato. So she was like passing out in like 90-minute intervals at one point, practically.
Yeah,
so,
that's the that part of the infant cycle is like you can set your watch to them.
It's crazy.
You know when to start doing dishes and laundry because you just fucking got it.
And you've got your exact like timer of like and there it is, you know. But yeah, no, that's otherwise like, you know, getting a little bit more predictable by being less predictable. The other thing is, and it's like, okay, so we're hitting the different solid foods, or trying out, getting messy, trying out all different kinds of stuff. And I have to say, I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, just wait till you taste like fruits. That shit's gonna be fucking crazy. Like,
it's crazy.
Like sweet and things like that. And like, oh man, a mango, your brain is not even ready for how good that is. Does not care about fruits.
Yeah.
Tried a little bit of an apple thing. Nah. Tried some pear stuff. Nah. The mango, a little tart. Nah. Going in for tahini. Going in for like potatoes, just fine. Cereals, just fine. But the good shit
kid on this earth don't like a cup of Cheerios, man.
But the good shit though. And it's just, it's like I think it's like your mouth is just not ready for how much is going on there. It might be too complex.
Thing is that a huge proportion of those tastes are genetic. Do you and Punch Mom have different tastes in food?
To some degree, yeah. To some degree.
Okay, so like, for example, hey man, you want to eat some chicken? No. Do you want to have a piece of steak that we cut out so you could suck on the steak? Delicious steak. No. Is he stealing a pickle off of your fucking plate? Yes.
Yeah.
Like a vinegar-drenched pickle. Sour and briny. Yeah, in it goes. All right, well, fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, my like whatever means we get there. My whole thing is like I want to avoid the pickiness if at all possible, you know. And I can see it starting to develop.
There's only so much you can fucking do.
I'm gonna fight it with all of my being. I'm gonna fight it with every fiber of my being. It's super important to me.
You know what I got right now, bro? It's like, he's a little picky, but nothing at the end of the world. What I get is just like the shittiest customer I've ever served. Where, hey man, here's all your food. I got your yogurt. I got your fruits and veggies. I got your chicken. All this, and like he sits there and he's like looking at it, and he's like, "Where's my dip?" I'm like, oh, my mistake, your majesty.
yeah.
And then I get the ketchup, and I squeeze out some ketchup out, and he's like, thank you, Dada. Dip is very good. Chicken is only good with dip. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And listen, there's these are the moments, because I'm like, right now, I'm pre-planning, and I'm anticipating, and I know it's mandatory, but for as much as possible, I'm like, the kids menu is the enemy, is how I'm approaching this. And this is one of those bits where I think simply being in like North America in general, there's a vibe to this that is like omnipresent almost. But when it comes to like how to approach the taste and some of the weirder flavors and all these different things, I'm gonna have to revert to some Caribbean style approaches of like, you got to taste some wild shit, a big like, if this is what the range is, usually I got to open it up massive and have you taste a whole lot of crazy things, and then just know that that's out there. And then you can still pick and choose, and your preferences will develop, but they'll develop from a much larger base than the usual of what you get up here.
I am reminded of what our pediatrician told us, because we were like, we're worried is he getting enough iron? And we were going through like the list of like macronutrients, and he was like, okay, how old are they? I'm like, 18 months. He's like, okay, cool. Are they eating? Like, yeah, he's eating food. It's like, good, great.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we're like, but is it? Nope.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
I know. Yeah, there's so many moments of just like, hey, I'm concerned about this detail, and then like pediatrician's like, I'm not. Get the fuck out of my office. You're like, fine. No, fine. Sure, right? And I'm sure that like when you're going down a massive list and a bunch of different kids are there, and you're like, these ones actually need my attention. Leave me alone.
You bring your kid in, they look healthy, they're well fed, and then in the back of his head, he's like, listen, I got motherfucking toddlers coming in with fucking scurvy.
Yeah.
Okay, like,
just jaundice to shit. Like, you gotta just, and I'm like, okay, fine, I know, and I definitely, I don't know. I feel, you know us, you know our demeanor and such. So I feel like there's a lot of cases where, talking to a couple different levels of professional, that they have a system in their brain that's running for just like, okay, we don't want to panic parents at any point, right? No matter what. Even no matter what we're looking at, we got to just go through the next level of like, it's chill, And and like we're conversely also trying to run a system of like, hey, we don't want to look insane. We're not insane. We're just it's.
You don't want to be insane.
You don't want to look like the crazy, while you're up in the office going right. But I'm just like, but we ask questions because we like actually want to know how this stuff works, and I feel like for a lot of things we're pretty data driven people, So we'd be like, oh yeah, like what's going on with that, and so like the conversation is like. Sometimes you're talking about like, oh, well, what would happen if this were to occur? I mean, it seems like it's not, which is pretty cool, but how does this usually go with kids and stuff, And you kind of have that thing, and you kind of poke at it in from around the edges a little bit, just to be aware. But there is definitely a like wall you'll hit of sometimes where it'll be like, well, and if we don't see any good results there, then I guess we'd have to just start talking to some other people, I suppose. And they just kind of you don't want they just like, no, don't worry, you don't need to know what goes beyond this step or what's going on over here, and
the last thing you need is well, what if my kid never eats an orange? Then we're gonna have to hit him with a feeding tube in 2 years.
Or whatever.
There's no fucking purpose for that. That's such a minuscule amount of cases.
But it is a system that I've encountered in place where there's definitely a level of like my anti-parent worrying system is now running, and it's like you're gonna get a stop on the amount of information after this point, So it is interesting, but yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, they're fine.
Yeah, that's it. And then exactly, what if we just want to short the baby, Anyway, she is perfection incarnate. What's going on this week?
Oh, with me?
A week occurred?
Yeah, I played some of that, their Kingdom Hearts some more.
Are we?
I beat Chain of Memories. Sorry, Re-Chain of Memories. And I beat Rebirth Recome. Reverse Rebirth Recome.
Okay. Usually it would go in the other order, but yeah.
You would think. That game sucks, dude. I have now beat both campaigns. Yo, that game fucking sucks ass.
That's unfortunate.
The Sora, there's 2 campaigns, one's Sora, one's Riku.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about Com.
I'm talking about Com, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Recom.
Rebirth, Recom.
Yeah, it's Re-Chain of Memories.
In Darkness.
Not Chain of Memories. That game sucks shit.
You ever Recome in Darkness,
bro? The campaign is about 19-ish hours. Fucking terrible. Like, god-awful. The shittiest pacing possible, where you're going through all the Disney worlds from Kingdom Hearts 1, and you're just doing them again. Like everything that happens inside of Disney World is like just literally a retread of last time.
You mentioned you go to the exact same places. They just don't do any of the new shit because they save all the good shit for KH2.
Yeah, and it features a combination writing style that is like maybe genuinely the worst combination of factors that you can see in a story. Characters so stupid that you're like screaming at the screen. No. Like Kingdom Hearts Re-Chain of Memories Sora might be the dumbest motherfucker I have ever played as in a game in my life.
Now, they are like 12 or whatever, right?
Yeah. No. Absolutely fucking so stupid.
How?
Like, astonishingly fucking stupid.
Even for a 12-year-old. Okay.
Yeah, no. Like, and here's the thing. He is fucking so stupid. And you're like, well, he's a child. his slightly, and I mean like maybe a year older friend Riku, not stupid. So it is actually Sora. Sora is the dumb one.
Now, is it
very dumb?
Is it dumb in the way that it's like protagonist's good heart is just too pure for this world, thus it informs him to make dumb decisions?
It's a little bit, because that's like the core of Sora as a character, is that he's a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
It may be it's like because other characters have brains in Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets to the point where some of the tertiary characters are like, I can't believe he is falling for this.
Because what you're describing sounds like, especially when you also contrast it with the edgier rival kid being smarter, and I go, right, it's the shonen protagonist who believes the enemy and does the dumb thing because like the heart of the situation will prevail, and in the end, the plot will often prove them right, and so, the darker one who would have been more skeptical and about things and more practical, but might have overlooked something, and then it would have been bad if they followed them through.
So how much can I get into like the nature of how dumb this is with you? Because it goes to like the plot of Chain of Memories.
I mean, I am there for what. Here's what I am with Kingdom Hearts. Like, for what little there is to the story, I am going to do this someday. So I'm gonna say, don't go too far in.
Okay, so I'll just go like basic. The basic premise. The very basic premise of Chain of Memories is it's about memories.
Right.
And they walk in to the Castle Oblivion, and within entering in the door go, we have lost some of our memories by arriving. And every floor we go up, we will lose more memories.
Okay.
And they take it very not seriously enough how much damage that will do to their decision-making process over time.
Okay.
And it's just like I want to like scream. It's bad. On top of that, the gameplay is terrible. The kind of interesting core concept of using cards for moves is poorly tutorialized and a little hard to get a handle on, and just makes its way for a bunch of insanely busted shit that the game like hands to you. Like, the strongest move in the game is one you earn by leveling up. It's not something you have to go seek out. They just go, hey, you leveled up to level 27. Why don't you try this move? And you try this move, and you're like, there's almost nothing in the game that can handle this. There's no reason not to do it every single turn.
You broke the combat system. Yeah.
And then you... so there were two things. One was essentially a judgment cut style move, which bosses can't... like their AI can't handle it at all. And the other is a move that just it's like Zantetsuken essentially. Okay. So you start a random battle and you hit it and it just disappears every single enemy.
Okay.
And I went from really strongly disliking the gameplay for about 5 hours and being like, this is kind of a miserable piece of shit, to mashing triangle while reading chat for 15 more hours because nothing could touch the system I built. It's like Expedition 33's like difficulty scaling problem happening like a third of the way through Act 1.
Okay.
Like, you remember in Act 3 when like, oh wow, nothing can fuck with me anymore. What if that happened like right away?
So the thing is with this being like a portable side spin-off though, like I would assume that it's a fraction of the length of the main game.
You would fucking hope, huh?
Nah.
Nope. My total gameplay time was about 4 hours less than 100%ing Kingdom Hearts 1.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh. And you get to the final boss, and the final boss of Sora's campaign could stand up to the nonsense I was doing. And I'm like, ooh, am I going to have to like relearn how to play the game? No, I'm just going to have to swap out this broken move for this other broken move that hits the boss in the air. And dog walk him. And the only fight in the entire game that has any mechanical depth is the final phase of the final boss.
Is there like a Sephiroth equivalent at any point in it, or
Nope.
No. Okay.
No. And then you do Riku's campaign, which is it's called Reverse Rebirth, where you play as Riku, which is cool because Riku's cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like an 8 out of 10 game.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And the long and short of it is that Riku completely flips the entire system. You don't earn cards. You don't manage a deck. You are given a deck that is set up for every level in the game, and that's the deck you're going to have to make work.
Oh.
And he gets special bonuses for breaking opponents' cards with good timing, or matching cards and then going into like a duel minigame. And he is dramatically more fun to play. He is also, he plays way closer to what Kingdom Hearts plays like.
That to the point that this probably should have been the main system.
He also has no storyline in any of the Disney worlds at all. So the pacing is way better. His bosses are more interesting. And his storyline is better and more interesting and better acted than the Sora campaign.
I was going to say, is this a Jetstream Sam / Virgil DMC special edition
A little
moment?
bit, but it's like you have a 8 out of 10 bonus campaign that lasts about 5 hours stapled onto the end of a 3 out of 10 20-ish hour campaign. And so a long time ago, I read a text synopsis of what happened in Chain of Memories before playing 2. I was like, that's good enough. It wasn't. Like, this is the second most important game in the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise in terms of shit that happens. And it is stapled to just slop.
So
it is the worst combination of legitimately terrible story / gameplay that's really important.
I'm going to guess because the bits, the what I do remember of Kingdom Hearts 1 that we played, Riku was in the background and you didn't know what he was up to. It's just popping in every once in a while. So I guess this is one of those,
right.
Here's the most you're going to see of him,
for a bit.
For a while. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, he gets to play a full campaign. You get a bunch of cutscenes as him.
Right,
and
right.
It also, they do a fun little thing where he has a similar, moving around moveset as Sora, but he plays better. His default combo is faster and cooler looking. His jump is higher. His roll goes twice the distance. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, Riku is better. Kind of and I've been told quite a lot that the GBA game is better. I strongly doubt that a lot because in addition to having no cutscenes or voice acting, right? It also doesn't have any of the mechanics that make Riku's side of the game interesting.
It's also a big ask to go back to that. I mean, for LPing purposes at the very least,
So yeah, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories is like the least skippable, most I want to skip this game I have played in a long time in a series. It's like somebody described it in my chat as what if DMC2 had vital plot relevance? It's like, oh.
Well, the Argo Sax was the second strongest demon in hell, Pat. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
On the plus side,
Yeah.
next up on the list is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, which is the top of that series' bell curve of quality. As good as it's ever going to get, and it's going to get pretty fucking good. So very excited to start that on Thursday. That stream will be a little later because we got a vet appointment for the cat. But yeah, no, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, bad game, not good, very important, very not good game at all.
Except for the new game plus.
Except for the tiny bonus campaign that is like the dessert after you play all the slop.
I mean, I do feel that, like, you know, making the rival playable is often a way that, like, they're not gonna think about, like, making them depowered or having any sort of, like, progression scale. They're just gonna be like, yeah, you're super nuts and you can go crazy from the jump, and thus it's way more fun. So, especially for the way games were designed back then, it feels like they wouldn't want to give that to you right away. But it's like, why the fuck not? You know?
Well, the Riku thing is more interesting than him just being stronger. Like, his attacks are stronger and his movement is better. But unlike Sora, he doesn't get anything other than attack cards.
Okay.
He literally has just his 3-hit combo. So you have to focus on breaking cards and, like, engaging in the card system more than nothing.
God, I was so upset when I played Mega Man X3 for the first time, and it was like, finally, Zero is playable. And you're like, let's fucking go!
But he can only die 3 times.
After all this time, and like, we're calling in Zero, you take over. Ah, shit, he's here, and he's gone. What
You had to wait to X4 to get your real fantasy.
Insanity. You went through all the trouble of making him playable, and you just didn't fucking make it real. You made it a super, basically, and it's gone off your save file forever. Zero, are you there? He's fucking gone. Piece of shit, man. That was what a crime. What a fucking video game crime that was. And then, yes, X4, you get the character select
I had
screen.
the exact same feeling, like borrowing a friend's Super Nintendo and like, oh, I want to play this here. Oh, fuck.
It was the number one thing everyone playing that game wanted. It was universal. And someone really angry at the world said, no, you just get a taste. And even then, if your taste is extra limited if you can't make it through the stage perfectly, you know? It's almost, yeah, I wonder if, like, looking back on it, there was something to it where they're like, this is buggy as shit, or there's some shit we don't want people to find. So
maybe
we have to, like, highly restrict it, you know, and don't let people get too much time on it. I don't know. Anyway.
So yeah, I played Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories. Oof. That makes that I am now 2/9 through Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, sure.
1/5 maybe, because there's 1 recom, 2 358
divided by 2 days.
Yeah, divided by 2. Then there's BBL. Then there's what is it called? Recom again? What's the code? Recode.
Recode. Dream drop distance.
3DS. Then O2. Then
now
then 3, then the rhythm game. So yeah, 10.
I remember years ago on Friendcast, you said like, "Hey, there's a good reason for every one of these titles that exists." That's like that explains them.
the literal titles. Yeah.
And
Birth by Sleep does have something in there that's some sleep birthing.
Is the Kingdom Hearts naming conventions just Chuny before Chuny in the titles? Because Chuny ass titles are, and Chuny ass logos exist, and there's always a telltale moment where if you look at a logo for anything and you see a paragraph of English text, you're like, oh, we're just Chunying harder
like
than
an
ever.
Under Night in Birth
Yes,
thing.
1,000,000%. Under Night in Birth, perfect example. Any other thing you can think of, your favorite show, anime, whatever it is, with a paragraph of English text in the background that's gibberish, we're just Chunying hard as fuck, right? So is this just another form of that? It feels like that energy.
Well, so Kingdom Hearts. So I played Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on Easter Sunday, and as I did so, I was overwhelmed by the Christ analogs of Sora in Kingdom Hearts, and how easy it is to just slap mainstream Christian ideology onto the Kingdom Hearts narrative. Like,
of course you can.
Like, it's like Kingdom Hearts is the light and the way. The devil, he's there to tempt you with the darkness.
The game opens on a stained glass portrait.
Yeah, stained glass.
I'm surprised there's no fucking paragraph text over those game logos. That it feels like that would have been right in the time and the place.
Kingdom Hearts 0.2 a fragmentary passage is pretty fucking out there.
A man haunted by a tragic past, but also great sorrow. It will change when he meets a girl named Dominique. These are the residents of Dog Street. The bouncer. Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of Jesus, and on top of that, I was talking to my chat about this. Kingdom Hearts is right there, holding hands in church with your friend and mine, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
as the coolest / edgiest thing. That just like, oh, it's a Disney game. Of course you can have it. Oh, and it's wholesome and it's about friendship and light and all these things. Those parking lot kids are probably coming straight there after church. Like, it just fits.
It's the coolest thing they're allowed to do, man.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, those guys are wearing cool black leather jackets with the full hoodie. Like a leather hoodie. That's crazy.
Bro, the Jinko jeans are ready for dancing. They're flared out and everything. Okay.
Well, the other thing that made me like laugh really hard in the context of like this is for like a bunch of church kids trying to get edgy with the Kingdom Hearts was that like Sora and Riku's dialogue is so gay. It's so gay. Like, it was pretty gay in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's full on gay baiting.
Is it
in Chain of Memories?
I just remember it being, again, kids going, no, yeah, you have to. I won't. Sora. Everything they say in the parking lot is just fucking.
Oh, that's all Kingdom Hearts 2 Roxas stuff. So don't worry about that.
Okay, excuse me.
No,
that's my context of the dialogue.
Like 60% of Riku and Sora conversations is like a guy getting mad that his boyfriend came home late and being like, oh, I guess you did want to see me after all. Like, just getting all catty and bitchy about it.
I mean, the last thing I remember is him looking in the window as everyone was having fun and he was outside, not allowed to be in the house where everyone was having fun.
Something like
that. Peeking in. Okay.
But yeah, no, very excited to hop onto 2 on Thursday. That is That is the goal of playing Kingdom Hearts. The goal of playing or starting to play Kingdom Hearts is so that you can play fucking Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Because that game fucking kicks ass. That's the best one. That's the best one, easy. There's no arguing. It's one of the only franchises I can think about where people go, what's the best one? And literally every single person goes, it's that one. That's the best one.
And then everything after that is arguing.
Everything after that is like, this one's got.
See, because after that your voice got deeper, right? And like life got a little bit more complicated, and you started looking at like, and
it wasn't as simple and clean as it used to be.
Yeah, no, and some of those boys and girls in class, and you started feeling a bit funny, and. And then, oh, maybe you had to move to a different place, and so maybe your parents changed jobs. Who knows? But life got really complicated after that.
I saw a really good comment where somebody was saying that the reason why a lot of people complain about like Kingdom Hearts 3's handling of the story is that they play Kingdom Hearts 1 when they were like 10 years old, and they play Kingdom Hearts 3 when they were adults.
Yeah.
And that it stayed the same, but you didn't. So it's really interesting to me going through these games, some of them for the first time, as a fucking 40-year-old man.
Yep.
Because that shit is over. Like, I'm old now.
This is also a foundational aspect of our relationship with the entire medium, you realize.
Mm-hmm.
Especially doing this all this time later, the shit that we took, our fondness for the late 90s, which we do go back and audit every couple years to just make sure that it did in fact rule. 1998 was the best, right? And then we also gave flowers to, I think, 2006. We always do this, but it is super true that like what where your life was at and what you were experiencing makes a huge difference. And even if you weren't experiencing that much, that in and of itself, the lack of other things still makes a difference. If you didn't have as much of the outside creeping in and you were just playing and enjoying your time and that's all you were focused on or whatever was happening in your life, the context you have these memories in makes all the difference in the world.
There's a really good example that I talked at length with Chad about this because the Disney is such a huge appeal of Kingdom Hearts, right? And it's like, okay, I was born in 86, so I was 17. I was 16 when Kingdom Hearts 1 came out, right? And then I was 19 when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. And then I was in my 30s when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, right? And so like, okay, what's the movie breakdown of what's in what, right? Because the audience that plays Kingdom Hearts was whoever started playing fucking Kingdom Hearts back in 2002, 2003. It was maybe mainly that same group of people, regardless of how the fuck old they were, right? So it's like, oh, what do we got? We got Tarzan and Winnie the Pooh and Aladdin and Little Mermaid. Like, oh man, these are like the classics from the 70s and 80s that people like you and me in our age group like grew up watching all the time. Everybody had a Disney movie that just played on fucking repeat in their house, right? It's like, okay, well, what's Kingdom Hearts 2 got? Okay, well, it's a couple years later, but not that many years later. So it's just going to go for stuff that's slightly newer or more classic. Like, oh, Beauty and the Beast, or Hercules again, or Tron. That's a fucking weird one. Mm-hmm. Or, general, like, oh, these are all super, super classics. But by the time you get to Kingdom Hearts 3, Wooly, you're 39, right?
Mm-hmm. No, 40.
Okay.
40.
How fucking stoked are you to play Frozen and Tangled?
Yeah.
And fucking who gives?
I do remember wondering when, at one point, like when Lion King was going to get in there, because I believe
it's in 2.
Yeah, it was only in 2 when it got to it, right? So, but
2 also has like the luck of it has the best movies at stages that they ever did.
And yeah, Tarzan, because I also wasn't like big on Tarzan at the time, so that was another one that was like
well, don't worry, they forget about Tarzan.
Yeah.
They lose the rights to include Tarzan, so Tarzan's only in Kingdom Hearts 1.
There it goes. And then it took a while for Toy Story to actually happen. Yeah, true. In any case,
what a weird series. The other thing is that, like, one of the reasons the later games aren't as good as Kingdom Hearts 2 is that Kingdom Hearts 2 was the last time that core group did them. Oh. Like, Nomura didn't work on any of the ones afterwards until 3, and, like, the core group got spun out to other Square properties. It's like, that core gang just got disassembled.
Yeah, also, I mean, it also is, again, a absolute nightmare in terms of not just voice acting, but like the amount of rights and different things back and forth and all. The games are made up of every one of those MCU conversations we've had about, like, you know, pushing this over that, etc. The entire existence of this franchise is the most complicated Super Robot Wars ass deals, you know, ever. So even if it all is Disney,
what I just said is fake ass news. I don't know. I read it on the Kingdom Hearts wiki. I don't know what you want from me.
Okay. Anything else going on?
Yes. What else is going on? I hit master rank with the cousin fucker. I'm one of the top cousin fucker players in the world.
Well, you hold on to that, because soon Ingrid will come and rewrite reality with her special CA level 3, where she puts Alex's head in the door and fucking smashes that shit. Shoutouts to Quasimodox for the new Troll Ingrid art, where Troll Ingrid is opening up the reality door and just coming to smash Alex's head on it and break everything.
Yeah, I hit master with Alex just in time to go back to playing 2XKO. It's a collie patch today.
There you go.
Just in time. The whole time I was grinding Alex out to master, I just, under my breath, I was just like, fucking God damn it. Like, the whole time. The whole fucking time.
Just changing the vibe. A vibe that did not exist. That means nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
I also dicked around with a couple of some backlog stuff, but the only one that I really want to bring up is something called Elden Ring Reforged. It's a total overhaul mod for your friend and mine, Elden Ring. It's really cool. It does a lot of really, really interesting stuff. The main thing is it does what I wanted. So I beat Shadow of the Erdtree. You beat Shadow of the Erdtree. And one of the things that I took away from Shadow of the Erdtree is, man, this fucking Just Defend tier should have been in the whole game. They should have moved this fucking thing to Limgrave and let you play the whole goddamn game with it.
Block at the last second.
So, Elden Ring Reforged has block at the last second, frame perfect block at the last second, roll at the last second with timing, and attack with perfect timing. So when you roll or attack at the correct time to roll again or attack again, a small indicator will pop up on your character's hand or the middle of their body, and the subsequent follow-up attack or roll will be faster and take less stamina if you perfectly time it. Because, like, you know, you can mash out Elden Ring or From Software combos, but there is actually, like, this is the first frame that the new attack becomes active. If you actually nail it, you will be attacking at like a 40% faster speed and rolling at a 40% faster speed. Okay. It also changes all the weight so that you have a Bloodborne dodge if you're nimble.
So if you do the Just Defend, your reward is
almost no stamina loss.
No stamina loss. Okay.
Yeah, and your guard counter gets better as well. And there's it's one of those mods that's just, it wants to be vanilla plus. So like everything has just tons of shit added onto it. Like one of the things of note is that they made it so that you can always attack with the weapon in your left hand. So if you're blocking and you hit any of the attack buttons, you'll just attack with whatever's in your fucking left hand. So shields all have their movesets available at all times.
Wow,
so when
okay.
you're blocking, you just, and you have a moment, you just fucking pop them with the shield and fuck their poise up.
So is it like tap and hold to block, but then tap multiple times to do the combo, I guess?
No, it's tap and hold L1, and then your R1 and R2 I've just now switched to your left hand while you hold block.
Oh, okay. What happens to your strong skill? Or like, because isn't R2 taken up by...
So L2 is to do your skill. Or
Okay.
to go into your stance with your skill. And on top of that, it makes like two-handing weapons like super viable because you can just perfect parry. You can turn the fucking game into Sekiro.
Okay.
Someone asks, how does that work for spear pokes? It doesn't.
Yeah.
The spear poke overrides it.
Or I was going to say for power stancing, right?
Yeah, so they made it. They also made it so that power stancing is automatic with any two weapons that have an animation for it at all.
It just goes into it automatically.
There's no requirements in any way.
Okay. Because I used to, because I was power stancing fists, right? Yeah, okay.
So like I was power stancing with like a long sword and a short sword. Just as long as I could equip them, they fucking went. It redid the whole crafting system to work better. It has a bunch of extra stuff. It's just a really cool way to replay the game.
Okay, yeah. I was worried when you said that it was an insanely massive remix, and like I preemptively felt tired. But,
So, for example, they redo the tutorial area, right? The cave of knowledge or whatever it is, and the final boss of that has been turned into a skill trial, and it's a test of the new movement mechanics. So they go, okay, listen, you can only take damage. The enemy only take damage when you roll out of the way to the side. If there's moves with bad tracking, roll to the side. But it also goes, okay, backstep is gone. It's been replaced with duck. So any stabbing move that would go over your character's head, tap circle and duck underneath it.
whoa.
And every single weapon in the game has been given a new move to come out of the duck like stance.
Is duck...
And then it teaches you, hey,
Wow.
there's low attacks.
Wow.
You're only going to be able to get away, like jump them. And so the final boss is roll, duck, jump, etc. And it's like you're going to be using this and perfect blocks to do a lot of stuff.
That is bad. Backstepping is not as useful.
Backstepping sucks.
Yeah, that is a way better thing. Adding another level of height to the game. Interesting. Okay.
And there's some stuff that like they've like made a lot of stuff more unique. So I was able to kill the tree sentinel right off the bat because I was able to use perfect block to beat him. And he dropped his big old spear, right? And the first thing that I saw was that it casts Golden Vow on yourself when you hit enemies, and it increases the power of miracles. So it's like, okay, that's
good.
Very much better
Okay.
for a very specific build. It's just a really, really cool like vanilla plus way to go. Like, because I look at Elden Ring and go, man, that's a really fucking huge game to replay.
Yes, exactly.
And I've already replayed it in its entirety twice. So if I ever went back to it, I would very, very much like it to be significantly different.
What the kind of mod I would be interested in seeing is like someone grabbing the traversal systems from Night Rain and dropping that into.
I don't know if that would work.
It would be crazy, but I'd be curious to see. Like, you could just bird fucking fly over and then crawl and then like fucking climb a wall. I'd be curious to see that dropped in and what it does.
There's like way too much of this to get into. Like, they added a new collectible for a new upgrade system, and they made the game overall harder to deal with all the new powers you have. But the thing that makes the single biggest difference is that you just regenerate FP by hitting enemies.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
So
just
like,
play.
Just like, hey, you want to just fucking play the game and fucking use your skills all the time? Here you go.
Not hitting this halfway through the hard dungeon. Time to stop and sit on top of my fucking heels and Okay.
What's really impressive is that they have a private server running. So when you install Reforged, which is super trivial, you literally just you install Elden Ring, then you download Reforged, and you go into the Reforged folder and go play Reforged, and that's the entire installation. It connects you to the private server, so your online status with the real game is safe.
Okay.
And you're still playing online with everybody on the private server running Reforged, and you still have messages, and you still have ghosts, and you still have bloodstains.
Not getting banned.
And it was trivial to set up. It's super cool. I'm gonna keep messing around.
Sick. Yeah.
That's pretty much it for me. Me and Paige watched a couple more episodes of that new One Piece show. That new One Piece show is pretty fucking great. That's it. It's good. Oh, people want me to talk about Small Saga. I played a game called Small Saga. It is a JRPG about mice in London.
Oh, like Redwall?
You might recognize a photo of a mouse holding a Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
It's very good.
Right. Martin the Warrior, Redwall.
It really plays well into the like. It has a premise, which is your little mices and moles and shit like that, and it really goes for it and does an excellent amount of work with the setting. So the very start of it is your two little mice guys, and you're like, oh, we're gonna go break into heaven to get food for the village, right? And you're like, okay, so you go through the sewers and you do this, do that, and fight a boss fight, blah blah blah, and you break into heaven. And what's heaven? It's a Tesco supermarket.
Okay.
With infinite food as far as the eye can see. But you are warned to beware of the yellow god, because everyone who goes to heaven is killed by the yellow god. And you're like, whatever, I don't give a fuck about that. At which point, you have to try and push a big old bag of sunflower seeds, and in the back horizon, you see the biggest door ever open, and out comes a giant in a yellow hazmat suit putting pesticide, anti-mouse gas throughout the floors that's making you sick.
Okay.
And every step shakes the screen, and terrifying music goes on.
That's cool.
Which leads to you getting caught in a mouse trap and having to cut your own tail off to escape. And its influences are really outrageously clear.
Is this Golden Sun combat?
Yeah, Golden Sun combat. So you're fleeing from the yellow god, and your tail gets cut, and your mouse tries to cut the mouse trap, and the sword breaks in half and becomes like a shiv. And all you can do is cut your own tail off, and then it does a flash forward, and you're running around with a fucking Swiss Army knife that everyone describes as being too heavy and too big for a mouse to use.
Okay.
And you're fighting fucking cats and shit.
Wow.
And it's like it's Berserk. It's Berserk, but with mice.
That's cool. Okay. It's
fucking cool. Like you meet a mole, and you're like, how are we going to defeat this cat? And he goes into his fucking collection of god items and pulls a Bic lighter from out behind a Game Boy and goes, we're going to use this. So you go into the boss fight with the cat, and he fucking sets the cat on fire with a Bic lighter while you stab it with a fucking Swiss Army knife to fend it off. And you're like, this is a fucking great use of this idea. Like, this premise is being absolutely perfectly utilized.
Another one for the fantasy mouse wearing clothing genre.
Yeah, they just wear little capes.
Yeah. I don't know if Redwall or Secret of Nim came first on that. I think Secret of Nim was probably first to the clothing wearing mice fantasy fighting big cat
that
threat.
feels right.
But that's a fun one. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. If you want to see more Kingdom Hearts this week, go down to twitch.tv/PatStaresAt and youtube.com/PatStaresAt.
Secret of Nim, 1982. Redwall, 1986. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not as familiar with Redwall.
Yeah, Redwall it's a mouse knight, you know. That's again, mice
So I
wearing.
know it's bunny rabbits, but when was Watership Down?
Oh, that feels way later. What year do we
Like the
got?
book.
1972. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, because to me the start is actually Watership Down of like adorable animals engaging in like hyperviolence.
But those bunnies are naked and they're just bunnies, right?
Yeah.
So it's very.
Watership Down predates the furry revolution.
I say that the category does not include them because they need to be little, wearing a little outfit and maybe holding a sword. You know, or not. Nim, you got, you know, the main character there, but you got to be at least.
When was Disney's Robin Hood? Disney's Robin Hood was 73. That's it. It's right there. That's the moment.
Okay. Not. Yeah. Okay. If we're expanding beyond mice, because the thing with the mice version of it though is that you got to do. Because the mice version of it is that it's always like the world is scaled down, right? You're getting the fantasy, you're getting the castle inside of a hole in the wall in between the things, and the whole world is scaled for that kind of detail. Whereas Robin Hood is still like, you know, bears and foxes and everything at our scale. But yes, it's a fun genre to return to.
So I might go back to a Small Saga because apparently the game is extremely short.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's it for me.
All right.
What's up with you, Wolt?
Okay, so a couple things on my end. Yeah, not a ton. Went back to Slay the Spire, been messing around, trying to get a better feel for it. And I still love me some Defect, and, you know, I'm getting through a bunch of fun builds with that, and falling right back into kind of how much I enjoyed it in the first game. I have to say that,
does he still have that 3-ball system?
Yep. So you got the 3 or more orbs, and each orb you generate a different element, and those elements can either be auto attacking at the end of your turn, or you can invoke them to do a powered up attack during the turn. And if you want to set them up to be offensive, defensive, whatever the case is, it's like a secondary system that you're tracking while you're fighting. And I fucking love it, you know? And then while you get your orbs out, you can spend your cards to focus to make them stronger, or you can just go for, you know, direct damage or whatever the case is. But if you do it properly, you can do cool shit like spend your entire turn blocking because your lightning orbs are going to do the damage for you, you know, once you've defended against whatever's coming. Fucking love him. But I've been trying to figure out the Necrobinder more. And I have some friends who've been playing that have been doing a multiplayer, and we're kind of talking about that a bit. And yeah, and one of them was going like, yeah, they main Necrobinder and have been just going all in on it. And I can't figure it out. I'm not sure.
Just make the hand stronger.
No, I know, right? But I guess the tricky part with, and maybe what I'm missing is like unlocking a few more like specific Necrobinder cards to make the kit work. But make the hand stronger, right? So, but the way you make the hand stronger is by using summon. So there are not enough summon cards in your deck right away. You start out with like a handful of like defense and offensive, like strike and block cards. Way too many, a bunch that you want to discard, you know, for your system to come online. And I feel like I was looking out to try to add as many summon cards as possible and in a couple runs, and I was not seeing that many. So I was like, I would think that building up the Osti's summon would be the plan here, but I was finding it hard to get enough summon cards to make that a reliable defense. In most situations, I found I had to just do normal blocking on top of that, right? So then I was like, let me try running Doom. And Doom seems to be one real solid route to go. And it's the only route that I saw that made the character feel like viable. But I'm wondering is Doom the only way? Because the Doom system is like you basically stack gray life on top of them essentially, and once their life drops below that threshold, they automatically die. But you have to still defend whatever they're going to do that turn and survive it. Or you can do cool things like have them stack their Doom in a way where you do as much damage to their life bar as the Doom that they already have on, or multiply it and have it like just build up and build up and build up. It's a cool thing that makes the character work. But besides that, that's the only way I found to make the character work in a way. So I'm kind of curious. So because you were telling me about them, but I don't know if you got.
I only did one run with each character, and I am noticeably shit at card games.
Okay,
I'm shit ass.
Yeah, I felt like I feel like I'm not seeing the vision outside. Like Doom is one way, but outside of Doom, I'm not really seeing the vision with the character. And you spend so much time and money like trying to trim down your deck to get better things in there that I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. You're kind of a lot of the time it ends up feeling like, well, might as well just play the knight, in a way, if I'm just going to be blocking and attacking and hoping for an occasional extra hit with Hostie and stuff, Yeah,
that's always frustrating in a game where you're like, I'm going to play the weird character and end up doing the normal gameplay that's not as strong as the guy who just does the normal.
That just does the normal gameplay, yeah. So I'm gonna take a look see and maybe there's more to it, but right now it's feeling a bit confusing to me. Good shit though. Slay the Spire 2 is that shit's very addictive.
That game is very early.
I also maybe it wasn't like this, but I feel like runs take longer. Like I find that I used to get to the bosses like, I don't know, in the first game I feel like it went quicker, and there's points where I'm hitting like, you're hitting that first boss and you've been playing like 45 minutes to an hour, and it's like you're taking a while getting through some of that. So I'm kind of like, I wonder if that's what the deal is. But in any case,
I have nothing to offer you because my brain just goes, just play whatever card, who cares? But that's why I lose all the time.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, before you even choose, like, there's a very one of the most difficult feelings to get used to is, here's your reward, pick a card, and the best option is none of them. Learning when to do that is the hardest, most like, this is not the point of games. Games are like, here's a reward, you've earned something good, and you're like, actually you're hurting yourself by taking the reward, so skip it.
I can't.
It's such,
I can't. It hurts me so bad.
No, I know.
It makes me so insane.
And you have to pick really early on. It's almost like Balatro, where you have to decide almost before you start the run what you're gonna try for, and you see your first fight or second fight and go, okay, looks like the game has told me to pick one of these roads, and anything that is not super conducive to what you're going for, just don't even try it. You have to fucking abandon any sort of like weird middle ground. Oh, maybe sometimes I can build up one of these abilities. Maybe I can go for lots of focus, but also I'll go for lots of orb generation, and maybe I'll do a little bit of both, and it'll be you're gonna be starving. You have to pick one and fucking stick to it.
I think when you play the video game and you win, you should get stronger.
And And
That's what I think.
Yeah. And when you get to like those Act 3 bosses or Act 2 bosses that are like, hey, half your deck is fucking status effects and unplayable fucking guck. So you pulled a full hand out and you've gotten 2 cards you can play out of it, and the rest is just bullshit, you know? Or you're going to take guaranteed damage, hope you can survive it. Pick your choose, you know? And you're like, how fat is your deck? Did you make your deck too fat? Die. Anyway.
You know what was great about fucking Riku's campaign in Chain of Memories? I got to a couple boss fights that were tough, and I'm like, well, I know this fucking fight's winnable because the fucking game mandates a deck for this fight.
Right.
Like, there's a fucking trick here that I'm not getting, or there's a way to do this because there is no deck building. This is the fucking deck they built for this fucking boss. Figure it out. And I'm like, oh, wow. I hate customizing my shit at all so bad. Like, I want, wait a second. I'm the one playing the game. The developer should be doing the work to customize the fight to me. What am I doing working to figure, I made my own thing? Fuck that. You do it.
I mean,
I paid you the money.
There are runs in terms of just like what's possible and knowing that you can do it. There are runs of Slay the Spire 2 that you can just turn into a regular RPG because you have a bunch of cards that are innate and retain. So they start in your hand and they stay in your hand if you don't want to get rid of them. And you could just be like, yeah, this is a menu. You know what I mean? That I'm picking to attack you with. And on top of that, with fucking defect, I can turn all the status effects into fuel and just get more pips of energy from it. So I'm playing a different game right now.
Yeah, honestly, that's like at the very end of Sora's campaign in Chain of Memories. You get the ability to use item cards to give yourself back the cards you burned on moves. And so it's like, oh, I have enough resources to just use any move I want like it's a fucking video game. I'm going to use the moves that I want. Please. Yeah, thank you.
Just cards are barely, they're just representative of button presses at this point. So okay, beyond that, wrapped up Expedition 33 and had a very great conversation afterwards.
I'm sure.
So yes, taking like once more into the trenches, standing there this time around, I feel for this journey for the entire game, I have had so much restraint. Like the entirety of the time that there was an opportunity to push in any direction, or I fucking abstained. I was Switzerland as fuck the entire time. And Reggie made his choice and stood on it. And I was like, okay, we can steal, man. Both sides of the argument here. Are you sure of your choice? You know, and then he did. And I'm like, that's the wrong choice.
Let me ask you a question. I think so. The time has passed for this comment, but there was a DLC that came out, right? And I think that anyone who chose wrong and played the DLC should be shamed.
I mean,
for being absolute bitches.
So yeah, look, you know, to not get into it, but of course, just obviously steer clear if you don't want to hear major spoilers for Expedition 33. I'm not even going to fully pull them out.
I've said everything that I want to say.
Okay. Well, suffice to say that, like, the more you enjoy what the world of this game has to offer, the more that proposition on the back end changes, you know? And some real interesting stuff because, even going through it, there were points that I didn't catch in my run, in my going through the game. A big one of which was your Verso lore drop and your recontextualizer for his feelings and how they changed over time. And you just are like, oh my God.
A little more complicated.
Oh my God, the hypocrisy digs even deeper because you once stood where we all are now and agreed with us. You were on the correct side. And then time passed. People changed. Things happened, Man, what an amazing finale to a game.
What a good.
That even all this time later, it's like the game is so good gameplay wise, and you're not even talking about that. You're just talking about the plot itself. I just
Are you gonna go up against the freaks in the tower?
No, we took a look. We took a look already. Yeah.
Those exist in my heart for when I replay the game myself in whenever. I will know that goal exists at the end. For when I'm fresh, when I've played through the whole game myself, and I have my highly optimized party that I've built the whole way, not something that I came back to 6 months later to do the DLC, and
But the best part, at least about the biggest challenge there is, is just you can never be ready. Like the readiest you can be is still requiring split-second decision making, moment to moment, with every swing.
But the goal of the number is to make it so that you don't have to make as many of those split-second decisions. You can make 10% less.
Yeah. The fight doesn't have to last any longer than it needs to. But there is
the best mitigation is more damage.
But the minimum you're going to have to do is, I would imagine, 3 turns, right?
Probably.
You're probably going to have to survive at least 3, maybe more. If you're trying to fuck with the Divergent Star. Anyways, just loved that finale once again, and everything from the discussions to come afterwards. So good stuff there. It is interesting too whatever, not to crack it open too much, but like different interpretations on what your third path could have been, that
I think it's actually fairly clear.
But I guess there's an element of it that, okay, I'm going to get into details for this part, for the
Spoiler
Expedition
warning.
33. All right. So the letter represents a path that could have been achieved if they...
To dream, yeah.
Right. If they talked about it, and if they were open and honest about what was happening with the world. And my question is, would that have been enough for them merely to present the letter that Alicia wrote and then discuss what the outcome should be honestly? Or would a requirement have been the letter and Gustav being alive?
That would be the second one.
Right? It feels like that on its own is not enough. You need Gustav alive with Miquella for this third thing to work.
So I've thought quite a long bit about this, and it's like the decision. Versa makes the decision very early on that he's going to uniformly go for a singular goal, and he's going to eliminate or allow things to be eliminated that will stop him in that goal. Right? Regardless if he changes his mind in the future, allowing Gustav to pass as well as throwing the letter away, like those decisions are made. Right? if neither of those two things happened, somebody, Gustav, could have mediated a solution between all parties involved, and even still possibly actually fabricated a solution. The Lumina converter cheats the logic of the world to such a significant degree that, given time and a non-threatening environment, there could have been solutions made.
Which means in that a product of the world created a system that breaks the world in a way that the gods of the world did not intend, meaning that is possible, thus putting another feather in the cap of how sophisticated life might be if you're willing to just dismiss it as disposable and put your toys away, go home, you know? It's and I think too as well, like there's that, and then of course there's him as, you know, also representing the ultimate in something Miquella doesn't want to lose and will never want to let go of, and so on, such, you know.
It's like, hey, congrats, Versa, you recreated the events that formed her personality the way that it used to be again, thus solidifying her resolve into being completely unshakable. She wasn't for sure about shit until the end of Act 1.
And one of the funnest details on this replay that I caught, so okay, there's I had like 3 pop-offs in secret. One was seeing Julie in an early cutscene, in the black and white vignette. The second was hearing real Verso screaming, burning to death, and how fucked up that is, because that's not your happy memory of the brother extending the hand, and whatever that trauma ends up being. But third and huge is at the cliff sides at the top of the Reacher, when Verso is like, no, wait, don't do it. Don't do the exact same thing that I'm going to do, because I don't want you to, when it's my sister, I don't want you to do it.
I want to be able to talk them out.
Yeah, because it's me though, right? Because it's my sister, so no. And it's like, you are in the exact same situation doing the same thing that you are now chastising Miquella for barely a few moments earlier.
And similarly, Miquella is like, well, it's what they wanted. But later, when it's her brother,
you've literally reversed the exact dynamic on each other with the same character even. You know?
Yeah, no, Verso at one point says we're all just hypocrites. No, is it Renoir, I think? Says we're all just hypocrites doing all the same things to each other.
Baked in hypocrisy.
And the whole narrative is propped up on like a singular assumption, which is a deeply human sentiment, which you and I feel very strongly, which is, no, but that's my kid.
But me though.
That's my child. No. I don't give a
It doesn't matter.
About the rest of you.
It's different when it's me. Mm-hmm. That's it. You know? And you take that and you put that on Renoir, and it's like, yeah, no, he gets to say it. He gets to stand on that. He gets to be like, I don't give a fuck. That's my family. I don't care what you say. And you know, and him looking at the creations as well, like Lun and Ciel are at the end talking to God and going and like actually like having a discussion about what it means to, like, you know, accept the reality of this. And he's like, yeah, fair point, creation.
That's absolutely fair. I'm very sorry, but I gotta do what I gotta do for me.
You know? Oh man.
I think one of the most frustrating things that I've ever seen about any discussion is they're not even real. Who gives a fuck?
It's so
single character in the whole story has that view at all, even once.
I'm gonna infer that Clea feels that way. I'm gonna infer that Clea.
You know what? Yeah. Okay. Her.
Yeah.
Her alone.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that on her, even though she doesn't say it, right? But
like the actual villains, no, they like represent the autonomy and reality of the fake quote unquote people.
Yeah. You know, these citizens of Lumia are just being so selfish by choosing to live. Like, don't they know that Verso's sad? Yeah, it is. It's interesting.
Yeah,
because...
Clea sees a version of herself and goes, "Ew, gross! I'm gonna put it into torment forever." Like,
yeah. Something that like popped up too in this discussion is almost like I had a moment after we finished recording where I was thinking about like the idea of the child and Verso continuing to exist, and like how it's like the darkness of forcing that on somebody, right, that doesn't want it. And it's like, it is cruel to force an outcome on somebody like that doesn't want to live like this. But according to your logic, they're not real people who matter anyway, so who gives a fuck, right? Why would it matter? Why would it matter if they're painted, you know?
I was like, if I could do something that would make Verso suffer more, I would have done it. Like, oh my God.
Oh, man.
Fuck that piece of shit.
Yeah, it's real interesting to look at it and be like, you need to close the book and grieve and do all of that. And also, who could leave this poor, suffering child and person here in this environment?
I could.
But from the person who's saying in the same breath, what you're saying is none of these people matter, so it's horrible to leave this person who doesn't matter suffering indefinitely, even though I just said they don't matter. Yeah. But and this does go up and down, because one of the other takes on this is like, no, but if you're looking at it as a text, right, as a text that a writer would wrote, and as a script, and the message of the story and what the intent of the writer is going for is to say that grieving needs to come to a close, and part of the process is to say goodbye. And because that's the text of this message, it means that automatically his choice is the correct choice, because anything that prolongs it is going against the message overall of what I have said, of what I think the whole thing is about. And it's like, that's horseshit. You can't just say that, no, that's the only reading of this, and then decide that, so I'm pulling out of the discussion because that's all there is to it. I
mean, at the end of the day, the whole Omelas child soul thing, created life, whatever, is just a large scale trolley problem. And the trolley problem is this person hates being on this train track. But it keeps all these people alive. Do you blow up the train depot and shoot everyone inside? That seems like a remarkably poor solution. And then even by trolley problem standards.
And then the other argument point there being that, like, no, they were all dead anyways. There's nothing you could do. And it's like, we don't have that level of information about the state of affairs after the fact. You can infer you can guess it, but you don't 100% know with absolute certainty that that's the case.
Like, I saw such a good shit rebuttal of us talking about the reality of certain characters, which was, bro, it's not even that deep, they're not real, LOL. Which valid, but the real people in this story aren't real either,
Pat,
because it's a story,
Pat. That's why.
They even look at the camera and say that.
That's why my favorite part of A Life to Love is the fact that that motherfucker is buried on December 33rd. That underlying thing that, even if you wanted to go, okay, yeah, canvases aren't real, the writers aren't real, this magical world isn't, like, no. This reality that you are saying is more important is also not real.
Because it's part of a video game.
We have underlined how much we have made it.
A writer wrote it.
You cannot ignore that the reality is still not reality here to have this discussion. It's so brilliant. The multi-layering there is phenomenal.
I'd like to get into something that we never got into, which was, as we are talking about how good this shit kicks ass, wait, what? December 33rd used to be real?
Hold on. Is this the fucking French Farmer's Almanac calendar type of shit? Are we pulling up La Vendémiaire, Thermidor, Frumidor, etc., the months and the calendars, things that don't exist.
When was fucking December 33rd real? Ever? December 33rd does actually exist on the French Republican calendar.
Of course, fucking Ash Crimson.
Because every month had 30 days, fucking 5 or 6 extra days added at the end of the year to make up a 365. When was the French Republican calendar?
Fucking Ash Crimson ruins everything once again.
The French Republican calendar was...
Oh my God, yes.
12 years from 1793 to 1805.
Yes.
And for 18 days in the Paris Commune in 1871. That means the French calendar would not have December 33rd, 1905.
And there were the extra days that were sans culotte, right? Oh my God. Go look at fucking Ash...
Still fake. Still a fake, real, not a real place. France isn't real.
Every single one of this is the Frenchest shit ever. Go look at Ash Crimson's move list and watch that every name there is from this exact bullshit. These fake names, these fake months, these fake everythings. Funny how his plot ended up also being about like erasing and changing reality. Yeah. Oh my God, the France that doesn't exist. This is the France that doesn't exist brought forward.
Is this France's nobody?
Oh man, of course it's that same shit. Ventos e nivos, etc. Whatever. Okay, well, in any case, though, yeah, that's such a brilliant aspect of the way that shit was written, and yeah, and the hypocrisy is baked in, you know, with the characters on that one. But I think in the end, you know, as much as we let it down easy, and I'm like, okay, Reggie has picked a side, and I'm like, cool, I understand that, I respect it. I also think you're no longer human, and we'll just have to move forward in this reality. And I'll just, you know, your subhuman status is now a permanent stain, and it's fine. We'll learn to live with it.
So, someone in the chat brought out something that we never got to, which was, how come I love Expedition 33 so much, but I will shit on Star Ocean 3's ending until the day that I die?
Oh. Can I guess?
You want to guess?
I can guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Is it because the absolute audacity and fucking gall to pull that rug in the third game after 2 games of established existing lore that you went to bed, completed, slept on, and then only in the third entry in the franchise you went, actually none of that mattered, even though your feelings have already been settled?
The events of the 2 prior games you played, they were fabrications.
How do you not know that? That's a silly thing to ask, unless you just...
And obviously the bonus on top is for every subsequent Star Ocean game to go, yep, just gonna keep going with this nonsense in the background, and we're never ever gonna talk about it ever again. If you were going to do that, and it's gonna be it sounds like dog shit regardless, I remember, but if you're gonna do it, you at least do it in the same game so that it happens in and you feel the way you do about that world the first time you're introduced to it, right? But this is like fucking introducing the concept of the Animus in Black Flag. Yeah. So,
you know,
one of the things, like, so people are saying, well, due to your own logic, those things did matter in Star Ocean 1 and 2 because they mattered in 33. No. The story of Expedition 33, there's absolutely no discussion of free will. Everyone obviously has free will. They're all interacting with the universe as is. In Star Ocean 3, the only people to get free will ever are the protagonists of Star Ocean 3. Everybody else is just a bunch of fucking NPCs.
Sorry if you just wandered into that and you were planning to get around to it
after
all this time later, but just, yeah.
I love also here, and I'm going to give you one more as to why this is such a big deal for Star Ocean 3. Star Ocean 3 is okay. Star Ocean 1 is okay. Star Oceans 4 and 5 are okay. Star Ocean 2 is the good one. It's the one that's super good. And so, as Star Ocean 2 is the good one, Star Ocean 3 coming along to be like, that one was kind of fake. Just to do it.
And
is like, shut up.
And here's the thing, too. One, not only are you erasing an entire game that never acknowledged this from two things from the past that you already felt good about or whatever, but the discussion in Expedition 33 as well is more sophisticated because it's also bringing up and questioning the value. Now that you know the nature of this world being what it is, do you still care? Right? And correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, my big problem when I was playing Star Ocean 3 is that I got to the end of the game and I'm like, I already kind of don't care about this cast.
That's
already.
Okay. So the part where you've pulled back the curtain and you've made it like none of this matters. It's like there's no proposition to go, but do you think it should? Because I mean, the whole point going through Clair Obscur is like this did matter deeply, immensely. It absolutely mattered, and there's something human here that you have to kill in order to decide after all this time, I changed my mind, it doesn't matter, and I don't think that that's what Star Ocean 3 was doing by pulling up to that top layer. So
here's the thing.
At least
I genuinely mean this. Quality is a factor, right? So if I had gotten to the end of Star Ocean 3 being like, holy shit, this is like the best fucking game ever. Oh, this blows Star Ocean 1 and 2 out of the water. Holy shit. And then I got to that twist, I'd be softer. I'd be a lot more willing to like engage with it, right? But I didn't. The whole time I played Star Ocean 3, I'm like, man, this just isn't as good as 2 at all.
And I'm going to say, too, that, like, with quality being a factor as well, and this is nowhere near in the same realm, but still just for the purposes of discussion, when it comes to that Assassin's Creed Animus shit that I was just saying, like, at least in that situation, too, you're like, well, I'm replaying events of history that occurred, so they did matter at some point, right? It isn't just a complete nothing here matters at all,
Yeah. And when you get to the later games and they start just playing fast and loose with what actually may have happened.
Okay. But there's a point that things are going through, at least with, in those early ones where you're like, this is also you looking at events that occurred and so on, right? There's no complete, just none of this means anything moment. In any case, that is a
in totality. Expedition 33 is a 10 out of 10 game, and as such, I was a lot more open to this type of twist. Whereas when I was slogging my way through the 6 out of 10 Star Ocean 3, and it decided to tell me that the 9 out of 10 Star Ocean 2 was actually fake, I was not open to this fucking twist.
Yeah. This is your Yoko Taro treatment of a script versus your David Cage treatment.
You know what?
Of a script.
Tiger Fang in the chat is right. Tiger Fang 86 says, when things are good, it's better.
Sure. My favorite.
He's right. Dead on.
My favorite part was at the end of the Expedition 33 discussion when I asked Reggie, can a robot learn to be a human?
Can a human?
What?
The real question is, can a painting?
Yeah, but that's literally that. I'm like, okay, but all joking aside, this question actually represents this moment, and I'm really asking
because
it.
It's, can a painting learn to be a human? And then and Gustav or Verso goes, can a painter?
What? Can a painter learn to be a human? Yes, exactly.
And then fucking Renoir and Aline are like, I don't get it.
Right.
What do you mean? I'm a person.
Yeah, and it was like, what is a human? What and I'm like, well, whatever the fuck you're gathering out of this group out of the Centre family that you're saying matters enough to you emotionally to consider them people whose priorities are and lives are worth saving. The same group of things is in all of these individuals in this city and has been demonstrably equivalent to me, and there's nothing here that says these fuckers on Mount Olympus are worth anything more than these people down here.
Guy in chat asking in chat, are they still on spoilers? While the spoiler talk logo is directly above our heads.
It's right up there.
You could move your head 2 centimeters to the left, bro.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's a hot take. I bet the writers were right to burn this face. These people are out of control. These fucking painters are such pieces of shit.
I had in my throat, I was preparing to say, well, at least, hey, you're on the right side of history here with me, buddy. And I appreciate that. And holy... What the fuck? Okay. Okay. We're going to need more context. But we know that writers hate that and subtext while we're at it. But we listen. The jury's out on how that fire started, really. Right?
I'm of the opinion that the way that fire started is that the writers wrote a story in which the fire started. Because when I was streaming it, every single person and me all came to the same conclusion, which is that the writers operate under Alan Wake logic.
But then how much did Miquella have to do with it, though? You know? Like, I don't know. Like, did you just open the door and let him in? Or did you, like, fucking go and get the wicker and start
in my
it?
Head canon, they asked her to write a story about her family, which she would obviously know very well and be able to get all the details right. And then someone snuck in and fucked with her draft and said, and then they fucking burned down in a fire.
Or they gave her something and she read it, and by reading it, it manifests. It could be that. But
Alan Wake dream logic is such a good companion piece to playing Expedition 33, because Alan Wake logic seems incredibly confusing and nonsensical and retconny, but it's literally just, it happened because that's what was written down. And you're go, well, that's not internally consistent. And it's like, no, it is. At the second that you are looking at the page, is that what's written down right now? Then that is what happened.
It's not when the pen lifts off the page or the typewriter?
No, the pen lifts off the page, and that's the way it always was.
Okay.
And you're like, no, it wasn't. And you're like, yes, it is. That's the way things always happened. Unless you get a new page which explains that, no, actually it didn't.
Okay, I see. Okay. I mean,
it is like permanent retroactive continuity at any given time.
If we are in a situation where all Miquella did was curiosity read something that a child wanted to know.
That's crazy.
That's insanity to put that level of guilt and build it and shove that on the kid. Yeah. That's fucked up. If it was she participated in some way creatively, then yes, there's more to be.
No, you know what
there.
It is.
But I don't get the sense that Aline is being reasonable.
They wrote in a little story, her little narrative, and they're like, and then that bitch left her curling iron on when she went outside. And the curling iron was like, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to do it, guys.
She fell asleep with the cigarette in her hand. Yeah.
You know, that's such a French way to burn your brother down.
Mm.
That happened in my family.
That
I have a relative who fell asleep with a lit cigarette and burned their house down.
That happened in an apartment I used to live in, dude. In the most French place in North America.
On the French side of my family,
yeah.
I should mention.
Here in Montreal, I lived in a building that, like, a lit cigarette and fallen asleep fucking cooked everything. It's the most French way.
Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. Why would a lit cigarette burn your house down? Because we're talking about the mid-'90s in which every single floor surface in the world was covered with the shittiest carpet you've ever seen.
Dubois, mon gars. Of course. The firmest, oldest, strongest wood. Anyways. Yeah, okay, all right, good. And all this to say that, you know, as I reach out and I talk to different friends, people are falling on the wrong side of history more and more on this one. And I cannot wait for whatever Sandfall makes next to come in and extra complicate this discussion.
Bro, hold on. Expedition 33. Achievements.
You know, if we're in a situation where, like, the slightest bit more context about this world in the future changes everything. Oh.
There's no achievement for beating the DLC. Shit.
You wanted to see the percentage?
Well, no. What I wanted, because there's no achievement for a specific ending. It's just you beat the game. Because, like, the ideal for me is that you could check out the people's achievements and be like, oh, they got the achievement for the Verso ending, and then they got the achievement for beating the DLC, showing that they are in fact a coward bitch hypocrite.
Okay, for caring about the world and returning to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. If
you know what they should have done? They should have made that DLC only playable before the ending or after the Mael ending.
I mean,
if you pick the Verso ending, you should not. It should have fucking deleted the game off your hard drive.
Okay. We're in the Undertale genocide run. Like, hey, never mind the paid product. Or gamer curiosity. The ethics override all of that. The plot ethics mean you need to never open this game again.
It should have deleted your fucking save file like a Yoko Taro game.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I remember having a proper discussion about that with Undertale as well, of just like, you know, do you properly see that? Do you probably see that genocide ending and the permanent conclusions thus do you see it as curiosity for someone who's playing a video game that wants to see all things, or do you
absolutely,
or do you accept the in narrative, like, no, you don't need to, you know? And I'm like,
here's my favorite part about that. I was like, I want to see everything there, but you know what? Data mining and fucking around in the guts of the Undertale save file system, also canon within Undertale.
Sure. Yes, exactly. Right. If you want to gaster your path. I mean, you should, but at that point, it's like, well, okay, don't do this, but you made it the sickest, funnest moment in the game with the hypest music and the highest challenge possible, appealing to the deepest, dankest gamer in you. So, anyways, all right. That's all good stuff. Spoiler discussion over.
Well, how's it go? Let me find the tweet. Rip to everyone killed by the gods for their hubris, but I'm different and better. Maybe even better than the
gods. Beyond Expedition 33. Played a little bit more Soul Reaver, and I mean, the age on that is showing, and boy, Legacy of Blocks Puzzle Reaver. I thought last time that getting past that puzzle Egyptian block pushing area would have been the end of it. And in fact, I believe you said, don't worry, you're past the worst of the puzzles in the game.
I
Asterisk.
said you're past most of the blocks.
Yeah, asterisk.
Per capita.
That fucking one where you have to move the blocks between rooms. Like, guys, I know this is Tomb Raider IDOS of the past. And I'm talking.
It really is. Isn't it crazy?
Oh
how much
my
it is?
God. Like, you can just see, like, it's like, no, this is what video games are. Video games are about pushing cubes into slots. Like, that's, of course. What else would you be doing here? It's occasionally fighting, but this is the whole point of these things. Why else would you boot it up, you know? Man, and I will, and like, I'm thinking back to in God of War, that moment where they're like, okay, I know you have to push a block, so I'm going to make you push blocks too, Kratos, but at least you can go and kick it all the way across the grid, you know? Also, swimming, that water area, the boss fight, your water temple equivalent here, the boss fight there is absolute clown shoes nonsense.
Rafa?
Rahab.
Yeah, I don't remember that shit at all.
Yeah,
I remember light.
It is nothing. It is a nothing moment. He sticks his head out and he stares at you, and then you look around the room, and then you hit some glass, and then you're like, what? Yeah. The decision to make, I guess, you know, every one of these encounters like a mainly a puzzle solving bit, not quite shining in the strongest there, but you are also then rewarded with the swimming mechanic, which, you know, it always does feel nice to have the ability to move in all directions, but the camera is fighting you, and aggressively you can feel like, oh, so the Ocarina of Time comparison comes back here, but this time around it's with Majora's Mask, where you use the Zora mode, and it feels way better to swim around as a Zora than it does to go around as Razel, where you can't control the camera anymore, for example.
The water thing it felt more like thematic than gameplay oriented, because water is what fucking kills Raziel's ass. And then you spend the whole game going, fucking instant death. And you're like, oh, cool, that's not happening anymore. But
also, when I think back to Tomb Raider, not only am I thinking of block pushing, I'm thinking of fucking Lara doing the butterfly, going up and down awkwardly in a bunch of tubes, and, you know, navigating that space underground as well, and then the sharks and everything. So you're like, that is super old IDOS too. You know, it's right on board with everything that Tomb Raider was, and just boy, you feel the age on it.
It's really interesting. Some games, you're like, this is just as good as the day it came out. And other games, you're like, wow, this was so great for when it came out. Right. So like you can still appreciate it, but like sometimes you're like, we stopped doing this 20 years ago for a reason.
Like, I can feel that one of the biggest accomplishments at the time was, what if instead of just fighting and beating enemies, you had a system where there were different ways to take them down, and you could use the environment to be involved in that process, or you could choose to temporarily put them down, but if you don't eat their souls, then they come back. And, it's more well thought out than other games, 3D action games at the time would bother to do. So it's like, okay, you're playing with systems there that are interesting for sure. And then the whole, like, what if there are two realms that you come back and forth between, life and death. But like it is aging aggressively. I'm enjoying it though. It's fucking cool when it's not making me barf. But I do find there's the moments of like making it through a new area and then going like, okay, let me find that fucking teleport door. Like, because that's your bonfire, that's your progress. The next time you turn this off, you're waking back up at the beginning of the map. So you better open the door to the teleporter to get to, or otherwise your progress is actually not saved. It's kind of goofy making it back through that. That's continuing. Coming
before
up,
I forget to say it. There's games that you held up really well. There's games that you can appreciate for what they were at the time. And then there's shit that was always trashed, like Shenmue. I saw somebody go, Shenmue 1. Like, no, people tricked themselves into having fun playing Shenmue 1, going, oh, it's so crazy a game can do this. It's the future. Are you having a good time? No, I'm miserable. Fuck. But, think about the future when a game like this could be fun. Oh, my God.
Back in 2001, my heart wanted to believe that I was playing Akira World Tour mode.
Yeah.
I wanted to believe it. You could do the fucking elbow block, and then you could practice doing it, and then you could use it to fight a bunch of dudes in a beat-em-up mode. Anyways, this week, shit's going on. So tomorrow I will be participating in the Twitch Rivals 2XKO showdown, tag throwdown, I think it's called. So tune in for that. I am going to be teaming up with Bricky, and we are going to, the goal is not necessarily, I mean, we'll see how far we get, but the goal is to make as many people as salty as we can, and to be
That's a good goal.
And to be as disrespectful as possible. So, we are entering to upset as many of the top players in that bracket as possible by any means necessary. Let's see how it goes. And that's going to be starting at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm probably going to load up the stream a bit before that just to warm up and, get on the comms.
Best of luck, buddy.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We're gonna see how things go. And it is the night of Akali Eve. So it is the new build and she's going to be in it. And we'll see how that goes. So yeah, Twitch Rivals tomorrow. Please tune in for that. And then on Thursday, I will be starting the new LP, Ace Attorney 2, and Justice for All.
Ooh.
I keep saying and Justice for All, but it's not and Justice for All. It's just Justice for All, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to keep saying and Justice for All because...
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I also make this similar mistake.
All right. So, hey, Return of the Objection. We are gonna... I announced that. I put it up on the schedule, and I saw someone say that, hey, Wooly, in the time since you beat the first game and now, they've patched it to put Phoenix Wright's voice lines in context where they're not supposed to be. So please either play an unpatched version or go play the original. And I'm like...
No. No, just have it be fucking stupid.
What? Like, I don't... That sounds... What?
I'm so happy that you're going to be able to play the Chain of Memories of the Ace Attorney series.
Oh, no! Oh, man.
I was waiting to say that to you until you locked it in.
I thought they were going to learn and improve from where we left off.
They absolutely do. They do.
For gameplay reasons or for plot reasons? Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. I see. All right.
The main thing to remember is that the final case of Ace Attorney 1 was made like decades after all the other cases were made. So it's that fifth case in AA1 is like orders of magnitude more extreme than anything else.
I absolutely am aware that was Dual Destiny shit. It was not at the time, and it feels immensely like it for sure. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So come hang out for that as well. On Saturday, we are going to be checking out local duos into XKO as well, since that's now a feature that has been released. You can finally play duos co-op on the couch with whoever. So
Didn't they cancel that game?
I thought it was done. What happened? Yeah. And pretty smart of them too is like you can't play ranked couch but you can do casual, and you get double experience points for playing with a buddy. So
that's awesome.
Very smart. Very smart.
Time to plug in a second controller and hop on Juggernaut.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like grab back and forth and see what's up.
Nah, man.
Yeah, so that's cool that they're getting those features out and everything. We're gonna yeah, that's it. And all of that over on Woolly Versus on Twitch and on YouTube. All right, let's take a quick break.
Yeah, dog's thumping. He hungry.
BRB.
There he goes. Caboose.
Okay, quick word from our sponsors. This week, the podcast is sponsored by Raycon. With Mother's Day coming up, it's a good time to get something that'll fit for your mom's life, whatever she's doing, whatever she's up to. I know that whenever my mom pulls out her phone, it's obligatory mock the boomer time because she has to bring out the brick. She has the phone with the wallet attached with the paper sticking out. And, at the reunion aforementioned earlier this week, it was like we had the actual Zoomer cousins and nephews being like, you got your birth certificate in there? You got your driver's license? What's going on? It's kind of nuts, the amount of stuff attached to my mom's phone that she keeps in there. She's like, I need it. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. Fine. However, what you don't need is wires and clutter and all that. So, you can consider maybe getting something that could be useful, like some Raycon everyday earbuds. That's a great option. You've got everyday go-to listening needs covered. You've got the ability to take your calls and chat with them. They sit nicely in the ear. They've got active noise cancellation, so you can block out background noise, stay focused on whatever you're listening to, if it's music, a podcast, taking calls, whatever they need. And, as somebody who has to have mom switch back and forth between like speaker mode and here, turning it sideways and going outside to be like, no, wait, hold on. Can you hear me now? Okay, hold on. It's on the Wi-Fi. Okay, the call, hello? Darlington. So I think a nice little headset that can be in the same place for call consistency would be useful. Yeah, you might be in that situation too. So consider that. Of course, there's over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee. So, you can get on that with a bunch of different colors as well. Blush, violet, cool mint, etc. Check them out. 32 hours of battery life as well, and a quick charge function. So 10 minutes of charging gives you 90 minutes of playtime. Celebrate Mother's Day and go ahead to buyraycon.com/superbeast to get 15% off the Everyday Earbuds Classic. That's BUYRAYCON.com/superbeast. Thanks, Raycon, for sponsoring.
Thanks, Raycon.
This week, the podcast is sponsored by HelloFresh.
Oh, man, I could go for some HelloFresh right now. Man.
You need food badly. You also need time, and you need resources, and there's a lot of needs that are clashing up against each other. So
full on Maslow in here.
It's crazy. It's crazy when you look at it. This pyramid is crushing you. It's falling apart brick by brick. And
wait, are you implying that you're like being subjugated by the hierarchy of needs?
The hierarchy is collapsing upon you. And if you're not careful, you will not survive. Therefore, I suggest you start simplifying, and HelloFresh can help you with some of those needs being simplified. For example, you get to have really good food delivered straight to your door, and you don't have to worry about the complications of figuring out how to, the cooking part of it is taken care of in the sense that it's effortless. You just have all the deliciousness of a home-cooked meal with some very simple to follow steps. You can pick from 80 plus global recipes every month, including Vietnamese, Moroccan, Caribbean, whatever your tastes are, they got you covered. New flavors being added all the time. And yeah, always fresh. The proportions are pre-set as well, so you don't have to figure out how much of this or a little bit of that. It's all ready to go. And yeah, they got unique ingredients like lemongrass, gochujang, curry pastes, all kinds of things for your adventurous palette. So go to hellofresh.com/superbeast10fm and you'll get 10 free meals plus a free NutriBullet Ultra Plus 2-in-1 compact kitchen system. That's a $189.99 value for your third box. Free meals applied as discount on first box, new subscribers only, varies by plan. Disclaimer, must order the third box by May 31st, 2026. One more time, that's hellofresh.com/superbeast10fm. Thanks, HelloFresh.
Thanks, HelloFresh.
And this week, the podcast is sponsored by Shopify. If you are trying to get your online business off the ground, or if you're established and you want to take it to the next level, you want a commerce platform helping you out to simplify the complicated stuff and to keep track of all the information that goes into running a shop, because it gets pretty hard and tricky. And I know that I didn't know what I was doing, but very simply and easily to figure out something to get t-shirts sold, for example, with like the podcast, Shopify was super handy to plug in and get it up and running. If you want to, start up and get your own design studio going, you got hundreds of ready-to-use templates that Shopify can help you building your online shop with. They've got the ability to help you with your marketing. If you want to create your social media campaigns or plug it in and keep track of where your customers are scrolling and seeing your shop, they're perfect for that as well. They've got award-winning 24/7 tech support for you. They've got the ability to track behind the scenes, international shipping, returns, all that stuff that can get particularly complicated as you start to grow out there. And yeah, it runs with the Shop Pay button that you've been seeing everywhere online. It's a really convenient way to check out. I've been using that for a lot of my stuff and just keeping it all in the same place so I can see what's coming when. And it's super useful. Big fan of that. So yeah, get your business off the ground. Turn those what-ifs into cash with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/superbeast. That's shopify.com/superbeast. shopify.com/superbeast. Thank you, Shopify.
Thanks, Shopify.
Alrighty. So what's going on this week? A lot of things, actually. I want to say almost just a little bit after we finished last week's podcast, which was, to be honest, less than a week ago, because it's only been a couple days. We did get an update to the JoJo gate. We got the clarity of Netflix stepping in to explain just what is going on with the release schedule of Steel Ball Run.
I was so right to be fucking pissed.
So after not knowing what was happening with the first episode dropping, and then seeing a teaser for the second stage, we were like, so they did animate it. It's out there, but Netflix is not putting it out, or what's happening? And somehow it's even more complicated now that we have the answers. What they're doing is releasing the show as a parkour release. And what this basically means is each stage is going to be done and animated and be all together. However, Netflix will do weekly releases spaced out according to when each stage is completed. Therefore, split core is the way they're calling it. And it means that you're going to have you're going to have a gap. And then after the gap, JoJo will be back and it'll be weekly releases of the second stage. And then after the second stage is done, it'll stop. And then there'll be another gap after that until the third stage is there. So I don't know what the deal is or why it's happening like this. But according to their statement, this is part of our original release plan and reflects the wishes of our production committee. So
I have a question.
Yes, Pat.
How many stages are there?
How many stages are there? I don't know.
Okay, I'll look it up. I thought you'd know.
I don't know off the top of my head. No.
Let's see. There are 9 stages.
Okay.
First stage, second stage, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and then the 9th.
Some of those arcs get real fat.
Okay, so what you're saying... All right. It's coming out in September?
The second stage will be coming out in fall 2026.
Okay. So it's April, but it came out in March.
Is this gap going to is the gap between 1 and 2 going to be the same for all parts?
No. So there's going to be let's use our math in here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So making 2 episodes took forever, and making 3 or 4 or 5 episodes will take 6 months. Or 5 months, let's say 5 months. So minimum 5 months after that, maybe up to 6 or 7 months. And then after that, as the parts get longer, it could go up to a year in between part. This is the shittiest. I was actually super right to be absolutely fucking pissed about the way this is the worst possible version of all events.
It's kind of insane that we are now in the skongification situation where it would have been better if there was radio silence and then after all this time it was just released normally and then came out with JoJo Fridays episode week to week, and that was it. The fact that it started and then stopped is now creating anger where there was none. There was already just, well, we hope it comes soon and we're waiting for it. But because you've popped the cork on it, you now get this frustration of the release schedule. And
hey, guess what? I have a list.
Not to mention,
I have a list from somebody talking about this exact thing of how many chapters each stage takes up in the manga, which we can now use our math to figure out how far each part's going to be. So, between stage 1 is 11 chapters. Stage 2 is 12. Sorry, stage 2 is 16. All right, so 16 chapters divided by, let's say, 5 months. So that's 5 times 30, that's 150 divided by 150 is 0.10-ish. So, that's a bad way to do that. 16 chapters over 5 months. No, it'd be 5 divided by 16? 0.3. So it takes 0.3 months. Whatever, I'll just use it. Okay, so stage 3 is 4 chapters. Right? So it should only take 1 month. Stage 4 is 7 chapters, so it should take 2 months. Stage 5 is 8 chapters, so it should take 2 months. Stage 6 is 8, it should take 2 months. Stage 7 is 4 chapters, it should take 1 month. And then stage 8 is 30 chapters, so it should take approximately 10.5 months after stage 7 for JoJo to come back. And then stage 9 is 6 chapters, so it should take a month and a half.
We're never going to get the honest story behind why this is happening. It feels like
It
feels like you're not going to know what the reasons are. So we're just left in this speculative place of you know, like, because for you all, obviously, it's just like, again, who to blame? Why is it like this?
It's going to be 2.5 years. It's going to be 2.5 years to get it, starting now.
So yeah, I just am like, is this, you know, if it was, you kind of just want clarity in this type of thing to go like, is it the simplest? Is it like the production is complicated because it's hard with the horses, therefore it takes longer, therefore it's going to take all this time? Is it just that, or is it for whatever reason Netflix? Is it Warner Brothers? Is it like what is the reason why this is happening like this? No fucking idea. But it's a hype deflator, and yeah, it understandably sucks because people are like, now we just talked about 2XKO, isn't that thing dead or whatever, right? Like this, like didn't it start or finish? What happened to that? I forgot. I don't know. And Attack on Titan kind of ended in this place, and they had like the production struggles to get to the final season and have the big breaks and stuff.
Which final season?
Well, yes, and we know that the reasons why were because of like the quality, and then not crunching their employees and trying to do it in whatever way or etc. Right? The fact that it took them a long time to do the good thing, but here you're starting immediately in that place without having had the run up to it. Well, actually, that's not true because you've had the previous parts. But at least with this part, it's starting right away on that foot, and it's like, man, the not being clear on why this is happening is making it worse as well.
So there's only one way that I can actually make this make sense in my mind, and that is that when Part 6 of JoJo came out, Netflix got the data and saw that new subscribers before or during JoJo Part 6 watched JoJo Part 6 and then canceled their Netflix subscriptions and didn't watch anything else on the service.
so the only way
to make money off of this
feather those balls for longer.
Split it out into 7 or 8 months of single month Netflix subscriptions.
And I think I also misremembered earlier with Attack on Titan, by the way, not to say the not crunching, but there was a thing that came out about like why the production went off and took that long and why things worked out the way they did. And I remember kind of seeing that and being like, oh, it seems like you would have had to compromise something way, way worse. Or I remember the end result being like, to get this at the speed anyone would have wanted, you would have had to compromise in a way that wasn't reasonable.
No, I don't need it to go faster. I need it to come out one day in the future.
Yeah, so, I think, too, that, like, the whole thing being done is also not the way the previous parts worked. It was always like a rolling schedule of like, you hit a deadline and then you have the next one ready for the next air date. But in this instance, I don't think it would have been realistic to expect the show to hit completion before starting to air, but just some semblance of normalcy.
No, absolutely not.
Some semblance of normalcy. The head start could have been not this. Yeah.
David Production did 6 seasons of TV in a row on rock solid schedules and deadlines, and 5 of those were weekly, every single week for their entire runtime. I didn't see. I'm not an animator. I didn't see anything in Steel Ball Run episode 1 that was so crazy that showed me that it had to have like fucking 5 to 10 month breaks in between episodes.
It feels a little silly in retrospect that like the biggest complaint with Part 6 was we had too much on our plates and that it killed the presentation of it, because like that's the complete opposite of what's happening now. You're like, damn, you could have like brought this out part by part and kind of let us all enjoy it together. You did it too, like the batch sucks here. Don't do that. You spoiled the moment. And
look, guys, we're doing 9 batch releases.
And here you just get the complete opposite of like, oh fuck, I don't know when this is gonna happen next. And like the JoJo, not even JoJo Fridays, the fucking JoJo surprise, it's out tomorrow, like next couple of years, feels dog shit, man. That sucks. That really, really sucks. I don't know why Netflix is making it hard to fucking be a JoJo fan. I hate this.
It has to be like to try and keep people subscribed for longer.
But like, I'm not. Listen, this could be again like almost like when we're talking about Sony and Bloodborne and all that type of shit. Like I've said already in previous weeks. I know that I've seen David Pro handle their end of the deal for multiple seasons now. Yes, but is there a possibility that it's simply like this is a difficult show to do and it's going to take them longer and we're seeing the dominoes of that? It's possible, but I feel like it's weird that wouldn't be communicated. And furthermore, in the interview that they just did the other day, it's like that would have been the perfect place to explain that, as opposed to saying, yeah, we don't know either. We want to see it, where you kind of are left to infer that it's not up to them / there are external forces that are holding it back, you know?
I don't know, man, because like they've clearly improved the quality of the episodes over time since Phantom Blood, but like the same people working on the same show with the same techniques are going to get like more efficient and better at it.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, and I believe that, and I do believe that. It's way more reasonable to assume that the company that has fucked up releases of things consistently is the one responsible for the current fuck up, as opposed to the one that's done a great job with it so far. That's not as being suddenly in charge of the fuck up, right? It's you have the track record of Netflix versus the track record of David Pro to go off of, and I believe that. I'm also just aware of the fact that anytime there's these moments happen, and I know that I can have a bias towards things, and I don't want to go back to how the days of me talking about Platinum, where people are like, Wooly will never talk shit about Platinum or whatever, and being too... I'm always aware of how things can be like, you're speculating, you don't know the situation, so you're just going to guess, and you're going off of your vibes on this, and if you feel good about David Production, you might be ignoring the part where they're responsible for this. In the same way that I'm saying, yeah, maybe the Bloodborne remake is a FromSoft decision and not a Sony one, even though it's easier to blame the people you are constantly blaming for being shitty about something, as
You're
opposed
kind of flying away from me on this one. What?
Okay. Sometimes when we discuss sometimes I can bring it all together. Sometimes when we discuss a production company that does a really good thing that we like, the developer of the thing, and then the people who are responsible for its distribution, and we have a long history of the distributors being dog shit, it's easy to fall back on that the whole time.
Easy, yeah.
And in many cases, it's a reliable thing. And every once in a while, it turns out that you're like, oh, it turns out that the people making the thing, the developers, actually were taking super long, and they were the ones that were the bottleneck in the situation, not the production.
No, I understand what you're saying.
So I'm bringing in
question.
That's it. So I'm just bringing in the analog of that and going, I'm gonna keep that in mind, because we don't know and we're speculating, but history tends to show me that Netflix, who have fucked around in the past and completely destroyed the release of things, are likely the culprits here. That's all I'm saying.
Because like I don't have any reason to believe it's David Productions at all. Right? I have no data to support that. I have plenty of data to support Netflix doing stupid fucking nonsense.
I would love to get the fucking clarity behind it. Because sometimes shit takes long, but also this fucking statement saying that this was what it was supposed to be the whole time, and this is what we... It's like,
that's fucking nonsense.
Just shut the fuck up.
That's
with
bullshit.
That, what I'm saying is I want transparency on what's happening, because it's shitty to just kind of sit here and go, well, hype deflated, and that's it, you know? The product that we're seeing that was put out so far was dope as fuck. And
they're going to release like 10 episodes for stage 8 and then have a month or multi-month wait for the things ending, and it'll be a 35-minute episode. It's like, it's the worst fucking way to watch something. Like, you know what Netflix has done?
Hold on a minute. Is it truly so unreasonable to say we don't know why these reasons are what they are, and we're currently not being told the truth, so I want clarity on that? Is that like, does that seem so
I don't think it's unreasonable. But it's also fundamentally pointless, because you already have a bunch of data to blame one party, and you don't have any data to blame the other.
Based on history, we likely know, but anyway, all right. Yeah. No point in getting in a loop. Go on.
Netflix has recreated the watch order experience of trying to get your spouse who's not really into it to watch a TV show with you. Where, okay, I'll watch an episode tonight. Oh, now we got to wait a couple of weeks until they feel it again. Oh, okay, we were in a really good mood. We were able to watch 5 episodes in a row. They're not going to feel up to watching the ending for a year. And they've recreated that for single people. They've recreated the Wooly versus Legend of Korra watch order for the masses.
Sure.
like, ooh, fun.
Yeah. This is the only time in my life I can think of where a single property, the same show, has had bipolar, like, examples of a release problem. Where you're
the only thing I can think of that's close is Attack on Titan, where
we never got
out that first season and that bopped, and then they waited a long time and they put out the second season and so on and so forth, and then they got to that final season, which was, it seemed like it took 3 years for that final season to come out.
I can't think of, well, there never was too much Attack on Titan coming out at once, right? Like, this is like JoJo is in a wholly unique way. This is the first time we've ever had a show or a thing come out like this where you're like, dude, fuck, slow it down. Actually, you're doing too much right now. This format sucks for this, and then to just completely go the other way on it. Yeah. Anyway, there's not much else to say here. This
they should do.
This sucks, and
they should turn Steel Ball Run into Steel Ball Run Shippuden and just start making up bullshit in between episodes.
Oh god, just add the filler in between. Yeah, and make it all like fucking storyboard quality at that. Or skits between the voice actors. Yeah. Just sitting in a room reading pages and just flipping through it as a table read. The only silver lining I can put on this is like, hey, you know what? At some point in the far future, we'll be in a place where, hey, Silksong came out and it was good, and now it's in the past. Like the entire journey of Skong, all the pain, all the anti-hype, all the nonsense, all the lack of communication, etc. Well, where are we now? We're sitting in a world where it came out, we beat it, it was good. All right, life moves on.
Stories were not built to be told at random intervals. That is not a good way to enjoy a story. That's not good. Books aren't supposed to come out with random chapters, and they're definitely not supposed to come out with random decade-long jumps between books.
Not when they're meant to be like, not appointment viewing. What's the word I'm looking for? Like serial, right? When they're meant to be serial in how they're released. The original formatting of like sitcoms and bullshit on TV was actually random viewing because you don't know what happened between the last 15 episodes you didn't watch, and now you're tuning into Friends and Ross and Rachel broke up. Oh shit, okay, but not for any.
They should have just opened up every episode of Friends with Ross is a cuck. You're up to date. It's Ross's fault. Fuck Ross.
I would have taken that as well as a black people counter in the corner of the screen just to let me know. And it's like, oh, did it tick up to 1 or are we still at 0 or how?
There is a song about this, Wooly. Have you heard the song?
I don't think I have. No.
There is literally a song about black people in Friends. It's up to about 15 or 20.
Interesting. I've never heard
it. But it includes bit characters like the guy they ran into at the bus station and the waiter at the place.
Okay. There you go.
It also includes the family that Ross met after he had that tanning bed accident.
Interesting. We're getting specific.
There's an episode in which Ross is so stupid, He accidentally gets sprayed 8 times on the front in an automatic tanning booth, and goes to a dinner with his new black girlfriend date / and meets her mom and dad.
Yeah.
Full body blackface.
Okay. I'm not, you know what? I've missed out on the lore. It seems I am not fully up to date on my friend's lore. Wow.
I am going to send you a screenshot of this. Jumped into my mind.
Interesting.
Of David Schwimmer in pseudo tan blackface.
With the credits rolling. So this is either at the beginning or end of the episode.
That's the end of the episode.
That's the stinger we're ending on. Damn.
Yeah, here's a screenshot of him lifting up his shirt to show off that he in fact got sprayed 8 times with the tan on the front.
There you go. Okay. All right. Okay. That's the tan. The tan. Yeah. Got it. Wow. Well, anyways, the point remains that I can tune out of Friends and then tune back in to catch some blackface and be like, oh, Ross, you know? And not really pay attention because it was designed to not be consumed in sequential order. In fact, it was probably hoping you missed a bunch of that and then tuned back in randomly. Like
TV used to be
soap opera.
Run on 26 episodes a season, and it would fucking kick ass because only 3 episodes in that 26 had anything to do with shit. Star Trek is the greatest serialized TV show ever. Hey, man, what's happening on this one? Oh, the transporter again. Wow. Really? Again with the fucking transport? Is this a rerun? No, different transporter accident.
Yeah.
Again.
I have to say, it really is the strangest thing about you guys talking about Star Trek and everything is how this in my brain was a show that was like an ignorable, you catch random episodes while it's on sometimes show. And then you guys turning it into, actually, you watch the whole thing and follow the story of it. So
I can break this down for you. It's very similar to Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Your season premiere and your season finale always go into a larger meta plot. And character narratives are going to progress in a sequential serial
I completely get that, right? And the same thing for X-Files as well, right? But it's just that I was young enough at the time when these shows were happening that they still fall into the old TV like categorization.
Oh yeah, they're peak old TV model.
Exactly, of like, it doesn't matter what you're tuning into.
Is Star Trek on? Cool. I like Star Trek, and that's it.
And that's the end of the thought. So years later being like, oh, people really followed them and knew the deal, right? Reboot was that too. I just care.
Yeah.
You know, but Reboot was absolutely designed for like, tune the fuck in, catch painted windows. I don't know.
Star Trek and X-Files were really excellent examples of like a serialized TV show that had like, it had a core plot, right? There was things going on, but like the main thrust of it was telling a very talented writing team, do you want the freedom to write literally any fucking story you want? Because the setting that you have for X-Files or Star Trek, you can do goddamn anything you fucking want. You have very little constraints on what you want. You want a beach episode with Picard? Fuck it. You want a body snatcher nightmare thing? Fuck it. You want Worf to turn into a fucking crab and do a slasher movie? Yeah, who gives a shit? Do the costume guys have the budget to make Worf look like a crab? Oh, only for a single shot in the entire episode? Yeah, we can manage.
Were there ever any like old cartoon style like guest characters who happened to show up because they had another show that was debuting soon or anything like that? Because
in Star Trek, they only did that once.
Someone's here because they're here to promote their shit.
No, what they did was for the season premiere of Deep Space Nine, they had the Enterprise dock at Deep Space Nine.
Cool.
Because
cool.
Deep Space Nine started during season 4 or 5 of TNG.
Yeah. Okay.
So they had the moment of like Data and Julian are chit-chatting about medicine, and Picard and Cisco have beef. And
wait a minute, DS9 is not the sequel to TNG?
It is, but they aired concurrently.
Whoa.
So it goes
didn't
TNG
start afterwards.
1, 2, 3, 4, Deep Space Nine 1, TNG 5, Deep Space Nine 2, TNG 6, Deep Space Nine 3, TNG 7 end.
Holy shit.
And then DS9 4, 5, 6. I think, is there 7?
And Voyager did the same thing?
Voyager I'd have to check.
I
believe so, because Voyager's beginning storyline takes elements from the 5th season of Deep Space Nine.
Okay, but these are treated as like almost like spin-off series as opposed to just like we locked down this one time slot. I thought that like Star Trek this season ended and then we started a new show, you know, like JoJo parts.
Voyager started in January of 95.
But it makes more sense that TV would be like, this successful show is doing a spin-off and now we have 2 primetime slots.
Deep Space Nine started in 93. So it goes TNG in 89, Deep Space Nine in 93, Voyager in 95 as TNG was ending. So there was a period of time in which there was two new Star Trek shows on for like 5-6 years.
Okay. Yeah. I thought, yeah, I mean, it makes sense that if you can get the viewers tuning in for it, why not air Young Sheldon right afterwards and just lock down 2 hours of time for everybody? Bro,
there was a period of my young life in the mid-90s where if I wanted to watch Star Trek, there was not an hour of the day that I could not find some goddamn Star Trek on the TV. You had the original series running on fucking loop on like some sci-fi channels. And then you had TNG, Voyager, and DS9 all airing within each other. Yeah, if I came home and wanted to watch fucking Star Trek, I could just flip on and watch a random Star Trek episode. And that's why Trekkies/Trekkers ended up watching so much fucking Star Trek, because they ended up watching it completely out of order in random bits and syndication. So the only way to catch every episode was to just turn it the fuck on every time it was on, which was every single hour of the fucking day.
It's so weird how nowadays, like at least, okay, well, the equivalent of this like turn on something random ass viewing experience doesn't really exist in anything that like I feel we watch anymore, and it is there for like essentially reality TV, and that's where all of that, like, it doesn't matter what episode you're tuning into or what's going on. You can pop on any one of those, like, current reality nonsense things and just catch it at any point in time, and the sequence doesn't matter. But if you are watching in sequence, then you're getting the tea at its peak temperature, you know?
So one of the reasons why TNG got to succeed was because of the nature of this weird syndication thing. Because the first 2 seasons of TNG kind of suck ass. But the show got really popular in the 3rd season. But you'd turn on TNG and you would be presented with a coin flip. Is this shit or one of the best episodes of television that you've ever seen? And it was a coin flip like every day for multiple years. And then once you were like, oh, I want to watch the episodes when they come out. Now you're in season 4, and all the episodes are good.
I feel so like that. I don't care what I'm turning on. It's on, and you can watch it in any order thing. Like that before, because obviously now we have streaming, and that fully just replaces all of that and so on. Yeah, I think shows like Cops and First 48 and shit like that was also like. Or you know, what should I call it? 24 hours of Impractical Jokers marathon on True TV or whatever is like those are your direct replacements for this style of old television that just doesn't really exist anymore. Anyways, I
Star
where
Trek is the fucking greatest.
I don't even. How did we? Oh yeah, we were talking about Steel Ball Run.
It's the best.
Imagine turning on random episodes of random parts of JoJo at all times of the day and just catching like the end of fucking Battle Tendency and then like midway through Shigechio's arc.
There should be two
right afterwards.
anime channels.
Oh,
And it should be Battle Anime and Other. And you turn it on and it's just a fucking episode from fucking something.
I mean, Toonami kind of does
it.
that, right? Like, they do a block of just, like, here's some random parts of random anime that's airing. And while I was in a hotel room, I saw they were playing some Battle Tendency, actually. And then right after, it was dubbed, and then right after that, they went into, like, Dr. Stone. And I think they just kind of run random episodes of that over and over again until, you know, the next thing takes the slot. Anyways, all right, we're lost in the weeds because Star Trek came up. We we found ourselves out here, but moving on.
Star Trek all day.
Well, how about yeah? Well, what if you could experience that via the Mass Effect television program? It's the same thing, right?
I have a final thing to say about Star Trek, and it actually ties in to our Star Ocean discussion. There's a Star Trek series that Star Oceaned itself, and everybody hates that shit too.
Oh, yeah, I think I know that. I know the one.
Yeah. The pile of fucking shit. It sucks ass.
I heard about that.
So the Mass Effect TV show has to go in for full-scale rewrites. Top to bottom, everything that's been written and built so far, start the fuck over.
Because it needs to be made more appealing to non-gamers.
Do you know why it needs to be made more appealing to non-gamers?
No.
Because the Mass Effect TV show has been pitched as the interstitial connective tissue between Mass Effect 3 and the new Mass Effect.
And the new one that's coming out. Oh my god.
Instead of, I don't know, adapting Mass Effect, they need to have a story that links a very complicated series of events to a new thing, but also can't really matter or change the status quo.
Oh, fuck. It's canon.
Because
it's mandatory canon.
The game that's being made.
Oh my god, this actually matters and is going to have to explain things.
But it can't matter too much, Wooly.
Oh, this is the worst possible decision they could have made. That's insane. That's so insane that they made it apart.
I was talking to Paige about this a couple days ago, and I was sitting there, and she was looking at me, and I was getting mad. I was getting fucking mad. And I explained to her, just I'll explain to chat, and you're in the same boat. We've played a very fairly high amount of Mass Effect. I replayed Mass Effect in 1 and 2 like 6 times. Like, I got my fucking whole footussy up in Mass Effect, okay? And I could give you like 10 ideas off the top of my fucking head of times and places you could put a Mass Effect TV show that would be more interesting than the in-between. Right off the top of my head, how about the First Contact War? The most important part of the setting that's never been explored in any way.
Also,
why not a set of stories in the Attican Traverse? A place that doesn't affect the main story, but has shit going on all over. You could do a fucking film noir bullshit thing on the Citadel.
Expanding on anything cool that was mentioned in the lore. You
could cover the Rachni Wars and the rise of the Krogan. There's
everything.
Much.
First Contact would also probably be like affordable and reasonable on the cost because you can use like more human
Like the first Contact War is so perfect because they could show humans meeting a Hanar for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a jellyfish. And that sets up the fucking... God damn it.
Man, that's not what they're doing. They're doing a fucking 3.5.
So they have to continue into 3.5 while simultaneously explaining the entire setting in a large-scale galactic war.
And you know they're just looking at like Last of Us and all these other TV shows and going like, oh, but we can dominate the zeitgeist of the conversation, you know? We can,
we got a guy in chat who says First Contact War would be 90% humans. Yeah, you could do fucking 5 episodes of the First Contact War and then they capture a Turian and it's the only fucking time you see a Turian on screen and they make the Turian a practical effect and he's injured and he looks amazing because he's made out of rocks and bone and goo.
Fucking Mass Effect Chain of Memories, bro.
I don't think Kingdom Hearts fans were expecting us to use Chain of Memories as a long-form pejorative for interstitial.
No! Oh, no, it's happening. This is the worst piece of news you could have told me. I had...
Yeah, no, that thing is cooked. Also, let's all be very blunt. What have we seen of Mass Effect 4? Nothing.
Trailer.
Not
teaser,
kind of
teaser.
EA and BioWare. I every fucking month I'm like, is this the month that BioWare goes under and they get folded out? Like, so you're not just making an interstitial TV show in between one game and the next. The fucking game that's coming may not come out, or it may get delayed multiple years.
I guess the thought is like, well, Andromeda already exists and we're going to ignore that. So it can't hurt to just throw. It's not like we're preserving anything pristine here. You know,
Andromeda is the biggest airball of any clean break of all time.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, if this were like, no, the integrity of the numbered franchise must be kept pristine. It's like, bitch, nah, you already fucked this up. So maybe, I
can't get over. We went to a whole new galaxy and encountered one new alien.
You know, so maybe their willingness to just force this show onto it for better and for worse is like, because who cares? You know, and if anything, it'll just lead to increased sales because all these new fans that don't care, all these non-gamers we're going to write for are going to be like, oh, wow, where can I see the continuing adventures of Shepard and everybody in this story that I just watched? Well, tune in over here in the new magic.
So, as somebody who's a massive Star Trek dork, Wooly.
Oh, the fucking marketing horseshit, dude.
Extra nuts. Because Mass Effect is based off of Star Trek. Like, it's a very obvious one-to-one inspiration. That means the blueprint for how to make a Mass Effect TV show exists. It's literally right there. And you wouldn't make it like TNG because you'd probably want to have a Mass Effect TV show take place in something where you'd be able to encounter lots of different aliens. So instead, you would put out, and it would be called Mass Effect Citadel, and it would be about people who live on the Citadel or CSEC on the Citadel.
And it would be Star Trek.
And the politics of the Citadel and the various races. And you could do a whole fucking you could do 5 seasons of TV just between fucking people in the Citadel. You have an Elcor who runs the bar, but it has terrible service because he's a fucking Elcor.
Star Trek... Yeah, Star Trek with even more alien boning. Let's run it.
I'm going to stop you right there.
Not quite.
There's a lot of alien boning on Star Trek.
I know. The beginning and end of fucking Kirk is all about that. But I'm saying even more, though.
No, you don't. You don't understand.
And it's not even that much on camera, is it? Because I mean,
there's fades and
there's you know. I'm like, in this case, you're
Deanna Troy gets impregnated by a spot of light.
Sure. What? Wait, what? God damn it. Oh, fuck. All right. Sure. All right.
Season 2.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Wooly. Okay. I'm gonna stop you right here because I've described Star Trek as a franchise that you can write any story that you want, right? And you're saying you could have more sex in Mass Effect than you have in
well, because there are fucking cameras panning up Asari crevices and shit, you know?
There is an episode of TNG, and I believe it's the final season, in which Dr. Beverly Crusher, attractive older lady redhead, goes to her grandmother's funeral. She finds her grandmother's magic, hold with me, magic candle, and her grandma's diary. She starts to read her grandma's diary, in which her grandma describes that she met a much younger man, and he just fucked her shit up for months before she died. And Beverly's like drinking tea and just reading her grandma's smut journal. Lights the magic candle. Turns out that younger man, ghost. Beverly then falls into a passionate ghost love affair with him until she becomes crazy and possessed. And it's up for Data and Geordi to go down to the planet and dig up her grandma, who attacks them before they figure out how to banish the sex ghost from Beverly.
Yeah, okay, Commander Shepard could never. All right. Fair enough. Game recognized game.
That is episode Sub Rosa 165.
Thank you for
14th episode of the 7th season. 7th season is when they're like, we can do anything? Fuck it. We're going to do whatever. We're going to have shit like Sub Rosa and fucking masks where the ship gets taken over by Aztec masks and it builds a little pyramid in the engineering bay. Oh my fucking God. It's the craziest show that's ever met.
Yeah, man, the greed to just fuck this up and it has no chance. There's no chance. It's crazy.
So yeah, you're given a TV show that the setting by default and its inspiration says, hey, you know what you can do with your sci-fi TV show? Anything. You could do anything you want. And they chose the one thing that would lock them into a tiny little writing box.
And whatever happens is going to matter, or at the very least, definitely be of consequence to whatever's coming next.
Like that the episode that they wrote first that got canceled probably spent most of like an hour expositorily explaining the first 3 Mass Effect games so that people would be caught up with the setting.
Man, well, whatever. Anyway, I'm like, when you have, there's different ways to approach it. You can do your Star Trek approach or your Star Wars approach of like, here's a bunch of side things and like, this one sucks. Oh, that one was good. Okay, that one's cool. And you get your fucking charcuterie board of stories being told. But for a dead franchise resurrecting and then just like hard committing like this to whatever the results are, you better fucking pray.
Do a fucking season of TV where you follow Nihilus around on a bunch of Spectre missions, and then the final episode ends out with like, hey, Nihilus, you got a call to go down to Eden Prime.
I mean, look, and
then goes Nihilus's adventures will be continued in Mass Effect.
If the gamble works and somehow it is good, then it'll pay off for them in spades. However, when you're getting a new story like the one I was starting with, which is we're rewriting everything to appeal to non-gamers, aka then we're writing for no one. Like, okay, so that doesn't bode well for whatever the end result will be. Because, for example, if you were to tell me that, there was going to be an Alien TV show, I'd be like, oh boy, that probably sounds like it's going to be bad. And I have heard from people that Alien Earth is actually quite good. I don't know how it ended, but at the very least, when that started, people were getting pretty hype on it, saying that, like, hey, they actually figured something out here and it worked as a show. I don't know if that continued to be the case. Did it fall the fuck off? Okay. It's actually quite bad. Well, never mind then. That's unfortunate. I heard good things when it first started, but oh well.
Well, no problem. Some of the other Star Treks also started to fall off too. Voyager started to fall off on episode 1.
Well, if we're going by batting averages, then I guess Mass Effect is comfortable fucking hitting below par, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It will never beat that fucking Elcor room. It's so stupid that we're stuck.
It's crazy how every single person you see talk about
in this conversation.
So I saw people bitching about this and going, I just want a fucking TV show where you hang out in that dude's office and hear them bitch about their bureaucracy.
We keep getting dragged back here. And Asuna, I'm sorry. I know you're flipping your keyboard as we speak. But we're stuck here again. We're stuck here again, man. Oy, oy, oy. All right. Well,
the Elcor and Volus office is the Shenmue of Mass Effect. Where you're like, oh my god, this could be anything.
What?
And it'll never be this again. Actually, it'll never be as good as this moment.
Pat, could you imagine if they announced the Mass Effect show was going to be a single shot Elcor room series? And the whole show takes place in that one room? It's just the comings and goings of the Citadel and what's happening with the fucking with alien race relations today. Elcor office drama. You know, Volus looking at the camera going, yeah. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, no, but seriously, Deep Space Nine is the exact template for a Mass Effect television show.
Yeah, sure. And then every other
it's right there.
But and then every other sci-fi TV show series that has come out and people liked that has come and gone, you know. The good Battlestar Galactica stuff, I suppose, and
until
the I mean, hey man, I can say Firefly and you know, maybe you never watch it again to find out if I can confirm how I feel about it and leave it at that.
I bet that thing aged like shit.
I think it's probably fine, and I'm happy never finding out. Moving on. All right, what happened? So we got that going on as well. Speaking of
Orville's great, by the way.
Sure. Speaking of, I guess, shit that lives on the cutting room floor, or ought to. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. The recently Lance McDonald pulled out Elden Ring cut content and got a little cutscene of Miquella planting the Haligtree.
That's cool.
Was going to be in the original game with a little bit of dialogue and showing the details of his blood kind of going into it and stuff. And I wonder why it was cut, because it's I guess the idea was to just kind of go all Miquella content should be left for the DLC. Let's not even show or hint at anything until that point. But I'm surprised that it was this long to pull this out, considering how much this game has been data farmed and data mined. They had, I think, the voice lines already before this, but they didn't have the actual data for the cutscene.
It's one of those things. It's a cool detail, but it's fundamentally unimportant.
Yeah, it's just showing that this got planted at some point in the timeline that is convoluted, and you have to infer how and when this would have grown and how this works into when you show up versus when the shadow of the Earth tree shit's going down. So, Yeah, in any case, beyond that, so we got the World Tour trailer for Ingrid. And
fucking boo.
I think if you're gonna take the character that is emblematic of everything I have fucking hated for years and do the Street Fighter 6, which is glowing them up, right? Giving everyone the glow up. How do you save Ingrid? How do you make this character work? You make her a fucking weirdo alien with a Katamari head that's talking past John World Tour to the camera, looking at you, the player, and just commit to it. And sure, she's a super weirdo. She's having her own monologues about reality. She speaks like an old lady in the Japanese dub at that. So commit to it. I find that's more interesting than, I guess, just the kind of, sailor girl that was doing the things from before that just stood around and kind of flicked her head around. She's like Athena or so. She continues to be that, but we know, and we're keeping the weirdness on point. And second, and most importantly, she opens a door, and from that door, what's standing behind that door? Fucking Morrigan is standing behind that door. Anything from anyone, anywhere is standing behind that door. Not that you need the excuse because you had Terry get on a bus and walk into...
You don't.
But if you needed to, you have now created a device and character to make any future DLC of any kind happen, because we've pulled the Band-Aid off and guests are a thing, and now time and reality contrivances are also a thing.
You don't need that, though. It's a fucking fighting game.
You don't, but you have it. Because it is, at the very least, you're like, okay, Akuma is chilling over here in Tekken Land, and Terry walked over here from the bus stop. But those are happening in modern day parallel. Whereas if you wanted to cross time and other dimensions, then you can have a...
Doesn't matter. In Soul Calibur, you have Geralt literally fall through a fucking portal. In Monster Hunter, you have Geralt fall through a fucking portal.
Regardless of...
Characters in Street Fighter are already magic.
Sure. But here's a character showing doors to portals, so I bet they're going to use that in the future to make some explanation for someone walking in. It seems likely that's what they're going to do.
I bet you that's just going to be some of her gameplay things. Like she'll have a teleport and she'll have like a Gargos disconnected normal kind of thing.
I think that like making her the last piece of this season and then just kind of going like we're recommitting to having a god of this universe and whatever stuff. Like they seem to care about their lore more than they ever have and are committing to that. They're committing to whatever they're writing here, and they really, really, really are they're putting it through more scrutiny than they ever have. So. I think that in this weird world where suddenly Street Fighter story matters more than it has to any other Street Fighter game, it of course doesn't, but because they care, you have a character that has reality warping shit and going on, and you're making that a part of her. They easily could have just made her like, yep, she's the Pandora fucking lady from Street Fighter Cross Tekken that is still just tossing out fireballs and doing the same shit as before, but here's an improved version of it. But I feel like them going out of their way to have this whole cracking glass thing and stuff means that they're probably going to use that in some way, or at least giving themselves the thread to pull on.
I think you're crazy.
Well, we'll see.
I think we're talking about fighting games. Well, they say Hachi alive.
I'm not saying it matters, Pat, and I'm not saying it's good, and I'm not saying you need to care about it, and I'm not saying that it's something that is going to suddenly become good. I'm saying that I bet you the reason why they did that is so that they can do this after. It's not. It doesn't have to be good
I think the reason
or
they
matter.
did that is that somebody on the team likes Ingrid.
Yeah. I'm spitballing.
That's much more likely.
I'm spitballing what we got there. But
also, to what you said earlier is like, if you're going to do Ingrid, at least they can try and save it by this. They can try and save Ingrid by turning her into a character that's named any
not
other
Ingrid
at all, and not having her in the game.
I'm looking at what they're doing here, and they just like they gave DJ the glow up, they gave Alex the glow up. Everyone got their glow up. If they commit to Ingrid being maximum weirdo and just not, and everyone on the cast being super creeped out by her, I'm interested in seeing where that goes and what's going on, because it's something as opposed to nothing, right? What she was before was nothing, and now there's something. So let's go. Let's lean into it. I'll take that awareness and all the silliness it'll bring over any of the shit from before. Because
I see a comment saying that a couple months ago I said I don't actually care about hating Ingrid. Calm down. No, I've always been Ingrid's most intense hater. That's not true. I've hated Ingrid since the day I saw her. She's fucking trash, dude.
Also,
her new design looks like shit. Like, her old design wasn't anything to write home about, but her new design with the fucking head boobs looks like trash.
The King of all cosmos ass headgear. I don't mind. Man. I don't mind it. I think it's fine. I just I'm looking at this character and going, what was there in the past was so nothing that it is absolutely hateable. And in addition to feeling out of place in many weird ways, and in this game, and not even so much out of place because the game is so full of freaks and nonsense anyways, but just like lame. I'm going to stop saying out of place, and I'm going to start just saying lame. It felt like it sucked, and it doesn't have to be aggressive or hard hitting or super duper aggro for me to think it's cool. Entirely, it's not about that. It was lame, but I believe in the glow up. I've got an eyebrow raised, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it. Not to mention, of course, like a character as a moveset, a character that, because she also had like a basic Shoto thing going on.
I foresee her being a completely different character.
Yeah, if part of her moves involves like the reality of the stage glass cracking around her, and you know what I mean, like all kinds of like distortion god shit happening, and her floating and doing moves and weight, like then okay, we got something interesting going. Like if she's defying reality as she fights you in a lot of different ways, cool. I always think it's fun when you have a character like Slayer or Oro, or someone who's like way out of your league, that's like playing along, and like how you reflect that on them being like taking damage or getting hit or being knocked down or things like that. So they could do that here.
So here's where I'm at. I look at JP and go, this character should not exist in Street Fighter 6. I still, like, we're multiple years in, I'm still like, JP is a fucking BlazBlue character that snuck in.
Moveset wise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for Ingrid to come along and be like, by the way, here comes another magic nonsense piece of shit. Oh, goody. I'm playing Street Fighter. I'm not playing fucking BlazBlue or Guilty Gear.
Yeah, I mean, for JP, like, it is massively annoying, but I like that his character is built around that whole, I don't want to actually fight you, I hate this shit, get away from me, I think that works lore-wise with what they got going for him, with this old man that's like, fighting is beneath me. So, let's see what they do here. That's where I'm at on it. Anyway.
People in the chat say Rose and Minot exist. I would be so happy if Rose or Minot was here instead of fucking Ingrid.
Yeah, I fucking love Minot. I think Minot's super cool. Yeah. Anyway, the that's just a World Tour trailer, so there's nothing to really look at for now. We'll see what happens when the next gameplay.
I really
drops.
wish they would just put out the whole trailer. I don't care about the World Tour.
No, but yeah,
because I already know who the character is.
Yes, it's the marketing rollout. They know you want to see gameplay. Most of us do. But they're like, no, we got this other mode here, and we still got people working on it, and we can get you talking about it without actually showing off the stuff. And yeah, it's just it's a marketing thing. The tease before the tease. So, introducing the idea of the character and the voice and so on, talking about all this shit, and then next time you can talk about her frame data. Anyway, what's going on as well? So not much to get into because it's all super in-depth gameplay shit here, but Guilty Gear Strive 2.0 has a bunch of information dropping as well. I mean, there's balance changes and system changes and things that are not really for conversation here to get into the nitty-gritty of it, but if you want some overall fun highlights, Happy Chaos, the gunman, has been shot and completely reworked into a different style of annoying character.
Oh, good.
And it seems like there's a chance that either Happy Chaos will now either be less annoying to fight, or you've designed a different kind of beast entirely. And there seems to be discussion around whether the changes they've made are going to just create a completely different kind of problem or actually fix the issues. But they've made it so that he can't just sit there across the screen and shoot you nonstop as much as he could before. It's harder for him to do that in so many words. Looking at it, they showed off as well. They've made it seems like it's harder to now use Asuka, the card guy. And, a bunch of other stuff is going on as well. I see some cool new things where Nago Ryuki is fucking got a blue blood rage mode thing going for a second. And, the game, it looks like it's properly different. And hey, what's nice too, finally accessories and things like that. Like, we're not seeing full costume sort of looks yet, but you see Soul using the Junkyard Dog Mark 1, for example, the big fucking meat slab that Holy Order Soul was using back in the day as like one of the cosmetic weapons. So it's like there's finally going to be some cool
that's a cool detail
cosmetics you can use for the characters, yeah, or like take off Jacko's like pumpkin head thing and stuff like that. So that's dope. Beyond that, only a couple other stories. Over at Take-Two, they have laid off their head of AI, as well as an undisclosed number of employees who are working on leveraging AI at the company. So it seems like Take-Two has reversed course and changed their mind
good.
On...
Shame about the folks who got fired, but...
it's interesting because most of the time these stories are often about people are getting fired and replaced with AI. And in this instance, the energy is changing and the hiring up of an AI team is actually getting let go here. So yeah, whatever their thoughts are on this, seems like they no longer believe in it.
Good.
Do they know something that we don't know, or do they know exactly what we know and have been
I think they know exactly what we know.
What we've been
They just saw it happen in front of them.
In real time, yeah. It also, I imagine, would be... considering how much I think GTA is going to clash up against AI when it does drop, I wouldn't be surprised to see them distancing themselves as much as possible. In that same vein, Nexon's CEO came out and said that Arc Raiders was a Trojan horse to prove that controversial AI tools can build AAA hits with smaller teams.
This is the funniest possible statement to come out after we covered, I think it was last week, or maybe the week before, that Patrick Soderlund was like, yeah, the AI wasn't very good and it didn't really help all that much and we're replacing it because it's not good. like the guy who made it was like, wasn't, And then his boss was like, see, I told you. It's like,
well, like, so this, for what it's worth, like, this is coming off of a call that they did, with investors and so on, and it's just weird that it's framed this way, but essentially they're getting at the idea that they used more AI in development here than initially was let on. And they used more procedural tools. They used more tools with content creation, et cetera, and wanted to show that now that it's successful and everything's working out, that you can use it to make a successful game, and then you can do this.
Nothing about that game success has anything to do with the tools that were used.
And lots of bullet points here, basically underlying the thing that I think I was saying some time ago, that there's going to be stuff that's going to drop where you're going to like it and find out after the fact, and it's going to continue to be the case. And then there's going to be stuff after that where you just never find out, because we live in that world now, right?
Yeah, and what's going to happen is that's going to probably continue until shit like... have you been keeping up with... Did I talk about this last week? The Claude subprime AI issue?
No.
So, Claude is Anthropic's AI, right? And it's apparently one of the smarter ones to do work on. And last Monday morning, I think it was last Monday, at like 9:30 a.m., Twitter and Blue Sky got flooded with all these professionals going, hey, what the fuck? I'm on the $200 subscription plan to Claude AI, and I've blown through my entire token allowance for the entire week. How am I supposed to get any work done? Because they need to start charging for AI use, because it's very expensive. These things are like, when you pull down from the server, it's expensive. So what they did was, instead of charging people more, they took people on their plans and then just massively decreased their allowances.
The value of the tokens.
And so people were going, well, I use this shit all day, every day. What do you mean I'd have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to do that? What the fuck? This isn't saving me any money at all. Oh, right. Because it was never cost effective. It also has a problem of, let's say you use ChatGPT for whatever, and it actually can throw down a fairly useful amount of work for you, right? The problem is that you don't know if you're going to get that on the first try. So what you've done is turn your workday into a fucking slot machine. Oh. And every pull of the lever costs money. Is this email going to be properly formatted? No. Is this email going to be fuck. Is that... I'm going to just write it myself. I'm out of tokens.
Well, I was about to say, they made the most important step right off the bat, which is you've turned your cash into tokens. You've already created your game currency, and the value of that currency can change according to whatever the fucking market is doing.
The whole game industry that's using these AI tools is using them at massively... at loss leader prices.
Onboarding prices.
Because everyone's trying to become the AI that rules them all.
Of course.
But when they start charging it, hey, guess what? You know what's actually going to be cheaper? Having a fucking staffed, salaried professional just fucking do it.
What was the exact wording? I think I saw a phrase this week that was something to the effect of creatives have had a monopoly on output, and now it's in everyone's hands, or something to that effect. And it was it was so insane, because the idea was people who sat and thought about things and then did those things had a monopoly on the ability to convert their ideas into reality. But now those ideas are no longer being gatekept by, learning how to do the thing and doing it.
Wooly, You know what all this reminds me of? I moved to British Columbia in 2022 at the tail end of what I would call the pandemic bursts, end of lockdown, end of the mask era, etc. And I introduced myself to my new neighbors as a guy wearing a Trogdor or fucking video game shirt and said, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I have a podcast." And I saw my neighbor's fucking face go, and I went, no, a real podcast. It's like my profession. Right? And when you said creatives had a monopoly on output, what happened during the podcast? Well, a bunch of very, very bored white guys who thought they were more entertaining than they were said, "You know what? I have the time. I'm not going to write the great American novel because that seems hard. I'm going to start a podcast. I bet I could do a really good podcast with me and Jimmy No Interesting Stories." And they did so. And there was a glut of the shittiest fucking garbage you've ever heard. Because everyone knows how to speak. Speaking is a natural skill that you all have at a basic level. Art, writing, etc. is not. But now we have the robot. The robot can give you, would-be shit-ass podcaster, the ability to make shit-ass art. The tyranny of the skilled is over. Oh, wait, it's not.
Nope, far from. Your neighbor's face was correct.
Oh, dude. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh.
And they were right to feel that way.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, in any case, while the CEO was talking, the Nexon man said that this whole Trojan horse setup thing that they're describing, the process was experimented on, and the outcome was 2 games, Arc Raiders and the Finals. Both of those games were built with significantly fewer people at a fraction of the cost you'd expect for AAA, and our success was not an accident. It was deliberate, and now we're thinking of bringing that to the rest of Nexon. So. It was all a financial presentation, and the whole point of it was essentially to just go, "Ha-ha! We tricked everybody, and we used more AI than anyone thought, and look how good it was. So you are right. Please give us more money. Gives before the bubble pops."
Yeah,
please.
This is nonsense. Patrick Soderlund used to be the CEO of fucking DICE. The guy used to work on fucking Battlefield. Like...
the person giving
like the team that they have over there knows how to fucking make video games.
The CEO in question here was Jung-Hoon Lee, is who was doing this. So anyway, good stuff. And complimentary to this, lastly, Lucas Pope, dude that made the Obra Dinn and Papers, Please.
Smart person.
Yeah. Basically saying, I don't want to talk about my new projects online anymore because I feel like they're going to get slurped up by AI before they actually come out.
Sure.
I've just got a feeling about that.
Now Blizzard is everywhere.
It's the goddamn Fortnite / Blizzard system.
For those of you who are unaware, one of the keys to World of Warcraft's success is that they had such a good dev pipeline, and they had so much staff and so much money that they would see features announced for other MMOs and be able to integrate them into WoW before those games even came out.
But to be fair, Fortnite replaced that in modern memory. And and hence the Apex stealth launch, which they still managed to throw in a ping system and everything after the fact within 2 weeks, I want to say.
Yeah, Obra Dinn, man. You're a smart guy. You make smart guy games. You keep that close to the chest.
It is. I am realizing that with our current industry release cycle, we will start to see things that are, well, I mean, this already happens where like a trailer will be announced for something, and then a fucking asset flip ass piece of shit will get thrown up on Steam for whatever can cash in on that idea, right? Or you might just get your Skullgirls Deadly Airport style, Skullgirls 2 Deadly Airport style release on the App Store. But there's going to be games where a trailer comes out, and as the trailer is wrapping up, people are throwing prompts in to get some shit uploaded online, and if it's a higher profile game or something of note from somebody who's got a lot of eyeballs on it, there's going to be a real problem with how much information is put out about something interesting before it comes out, because it's more hostile than ever with the slop going up on Steam.
Ripoffs used to be so charming. You can finally try playing the great genius Kojumbo. Everyone knows Kojumbo Genius.
Yeah, like fucking, the AI is not going to come up with Deadly Airport. That shit needs to come from the heart, man. It needs to come from someone who doesn't understand what the fuck they're looking at, but approximating what they think people who like this game might want to see. It sucks. What was robbed from us that they were robbing from other people. Let's take some letters.
Hey, if you want to send in a letter, send it to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Oh, you know what? I have a letter. Something I forgot to talk about. I'm starting my practical driving lessons. I really only have one thing to say. Everyone's crazy. Everyone on the road has completely lost their fucking mind. I can't believe it. I can't fucking believe it. I can't fucking believe how bad it is.
This is welcome to driving, sir.
Yeah, no, it's so much worse than even my passive view has seen. Like I'm in a marked driving instructor car, like the logo of a driving school on it. Got caught off like a dozen times. Had a guy destroy his car backing up into a fucking telephone pole directly in front of me. Everyone's crazy. Everyone's crazy.
Well, yes, because it's an extension of your ego on wheels surrounding you. You are crashing into other people's stands.
It's unbelievable.
It is the manifestation of their views on life and their self-importance and what they feel they're owed on the road with you, moving at lethal speeds. Correct. How badly do you need those groceries, bro?
I need them. I need to eat food.
All right, let's take one over here from... all right. No name given. Dear Wimmy and Pimmy, last podcast you talked about Capcom patching the story for Alex, and it reminded me of another instance of a story getting patched. In River City Girls, you play as Kyoko and Misako trying to rescue their boyfriends, Ricky and Kunio, who were kidnapped. I guess spoilers for River City Girls. There's a secret boss where it's revealed that Ricky and Kunio aren't even your boyfriends anymore, and that Kyoko and Misako are delusional stalker exes. This is later reinforced when you meet Ricky and Kunio, who weren't even kidnapped. They were just having a spa day, and they try to get away calling you those crazy girls before they go in search of Mami and Hasebe, their current girlfriends and the secret boss of the game. This ending, although funny, felt like I played the whole game along with the secret boss and got nothing to show for it. So either due to public outrage or sequel purposes, this was later patched. In the patched ending, everything plays out the same, but when you meet Ricky and Kunio, they don't try to run away. They're just hungry and ask if you want to join them for burgers, with the final shot implying that they get back together.
Yeah, it's a way shittier ending.
My question is, if you could patch any other game story, what would it be, and what would you patch it to? That sucks!
Street Fighter 6 to not have Ingrid in it.
If I may, but who cares? Fuck the question for a second here. That sucks. That's garbage. I hate it.
It's really bad. It's a bad change.
The level of cowardice on display has never been higher. I am aghast at the level of bitch in this game's heart. That is ridiculously shitty. Wow.
It's awful.
Wow, that sucks. You're too afraid to commit to them being the fucking nutty stalkers. So this is, oh my god. Lame, dude. Oh. Way to oh my god.
And that's the ending they carry forward into the sequel, apparently. So it's just shit all around.
That's so stupid, man. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I guess the one that already happened where they made it so that DMC2 was not the end of the timeline. And
that was a good one.
They just fucking changed the order from 3142, you know, and then just fucking to 31245.
You know, it's funny because when I think about like changing story elements in games, like I usually just think of removing entire games from canon, and like I don't think about like I wish so and so would have done this. I just go, I wish this entire sequence of events just didn't occur at all.
Sure. I mean, it's even easier because for that game, you can just take Dante's disc away and leave the Lucia one. And then just say that happened.
Yeah, that happened to Lucia.
Yeah. You don't even have to destroy the game. You can just take away one disc. And we'll take one over here. D. Hello, marriage fighting racism and marriage fighting heightism. The Alex drama reminded me of the most questionable writing and gameplay mechanics I've encountered in a major game series. To capitalize on Fire Emblem Awakening's success by including marriage plus child mechanics,
Oh my god.
I've seen a lot of... Okay, so side note, I've seen a lot of people make reference to Fire Emblem crazy shit in the middle of this Alex nonsense, and I didn't look at any of it, so I have to assume that, like, this is what that's about. Because I've wondered, because people have been talking a bunch about it. So, Nintendo's Fire Emblem Fates doubles down on the marriage dating sim mechanics while also including the thinly veiled self-insert OC content of the developer's fetishes. For example, some of the strongest child units are created by marrying the player's avatar with either their step-siblings, blood-related siblings, that are revealed to not be blood later when the player commits to marriage. Oh.
Yeah, but you thought they were blood right up until...
Oh, Schrodinger's sibling. And or the other royalty unit that is revealed months later in the DLC to be first cousins with the player's character. Now retroactively turning tons of players' cleared saves into the most incense.
Gotta inbreed the strongest units, man.
Besides this, there's also a large exposed feat of the main character and pills being slipped into the people's foods, the groomer dimension, and exploding clothes to do more damage. Has the game ever tricked you into doing morally questionable actions?
You really skipped over the phrase groomer dimension. What is that?
I mean, when we're talking so far, it sounds like the game changes the results according to your choices. So to me, I'm going to guess that you choose the one that is the most heinous sounding, and then the game automatically changes the result to then make it so that it's safe on the other side of your choice, even though it knows what you want it to go for. Right? It's like, no, in the end, what you did was okay, and or what it was, you weren't blood related, but we know you wanted, we know what you wanted, but it was fine. Because video games can do that. Yeah, I'm guessing that with each heinous choice, you just have the fucking story just snap into place on the other side. Yes, questionable actions that make you feel like the devs should be investigated. I mean, wow, at Fire Emblem on that one.
Whatever,
I didn't know.
Whatever anime or manga that original Okay, there was a meme image of Alex's face stapled onto a guy holding a baby going, stay away from that woman.
Yep.
Whatever that's from, fucking check that dude's hard drive.
Sure. Yep, that's a freebie.
That's that's why! It's 7 Deadly Sins! That's why every time there's a 7 Deadly Sins trailer during like some kind of show, everyone goes, oh, it's that pedo game.
Oh, yeah, okay. The one I saw was the timeline of or the family tree, and then like it's like one dude across multiple games connecting to every single dot on this family tree. Whatever series or franchise that is, I have no idea, but that was also brought up during fucking Alexgate.
Your fucking family tree isn't supposed to look like a mangrove system, man. Okay?
I mean, it's just, yeah. We, like, take a screenshot out of a Mugenics timeline and just put Street Fighter characters on it. Anyway. Yeah, fucking Fire Emblem. I didn't realize that's how it worked. That's crazy. That shit's wild. But there's something, again, the moxie to make it so that you choose to, once you confirm marrying your sister or whatever, she then turns out to not be related by blood. Is oh shit. Yep. Schrodinger's incest, straight up. If you never put a ring on it, she stays blood related.
That's wrong. Because that implies that as long you can do whatever with your blood relations as long as it's not before God. Don't do that.
Don't make an honest woman out of your sister.
Don't say that.
Because then reality will correct itself and your sins will be remembered by everyone who knows what you've done, actually. Oh man, Fire Emblem, huh?
Well, here's the thing about Fire Emblem.
What's going on in those games, y'all?
Mechanic was like, hey, do you want to make a bunch of eugenic child warriors? It was like already like, this is not good. Like the idea of like knocking up your girlfriend and then like Chris Pratt, the Forever War, time traveling your baby from the future to die on the field is morose.
Fucking 3 houses, more like Fire Emblem, 1 house.